All right, y'all. We get praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach today. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor of men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. Become my Abba's name, you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. I believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only. Do not think that I will accuse you, but Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. What's happening with the champ? Psalms 88 and 1. O Yahuwah Elohim of my salvation, I have cried day, night before you. Let my prayer come before you. Incline your ear unto my cry, for my soul is full of troubles, and my life draw near unto the grave. Shalom, Quran, man. Yahuwah Baruch. Shalom, Sister Kelly. Shalom, Brother Marie. Shalom, Jacob. Shalom, Brother Robert. I'm counted with them that go down into the pit. I am as a man, no strength. Free of the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, they are cut off from your hand. Shalom, Brother Martin. Peace, Brother Omar, man. You laid me in the lowest pit, in the darkness and the deeps. Your wrath lay hard upon me, and you have afflicted with all your ways. You put away my acquaintance. Far from me, you have made me an abomination. Unto them, shut up, and I cannot come forth. My eye mourn by reason of affliction, Yahuwah. I've called daily upon you. I've stretched out my hands unto you. Will you show wonders to the dead? Shall the dead arise and praise you? Selah. Shall your loving kindness be declared in the grave, your faithfulness in destruction? Shall your wonders be known in the dark, and your righteousness in the land of forgetfulness? But unto you have I cried, O Yahuwah, and in the morning shall my prayer prevent you. Psalm 45. 45 and 1. My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of things which I have made touching the king. My tongue, the pen of a ready writer. You are fairer than the sons of Adam. Grace is poured into your lips. Therefore, Elohim have baruched you forever. Gird up your sword upon thigh, Almighty, with your esteem and your majesty. And in your majesty ride prosperously because of truth, meekness, righteousness. And your right hand shall teach terrible things. So, Proverbs 6 it is. Let's deal with that. Six and 1. Most of this we done already ran down. So, my son, if you be a surety for your friend, you have stricken your hand with a stranger. You are snared with the words of your mouth. You are taken with the words of your mouth. Do this now, my son. Deliver yourself, and when you are coming to the hand of your friend, go humble yourself and make sure your friend. Give not sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself as a roe from the hand, as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways. Be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler. Provide her meat in the summer. Gather her food in the harvest. How long will you sleep, O sluggard? When will you arise out of your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall your poverty come on as one that travel, and thy want as an armed man. Now, verse 8. Ponder upon it and tell me what you think. What do you derive out of that? Out of verse 8. And I provide her meat in the summer, gather her food in the harvest. Hey, y'all, calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down.
I think it's many ways you can look at it. I remember like that word meat is in Lacan. So with the bread, I know he died during summertime.
Yep.
And the harvest with the parable he said in Matthew 13. That's what I got from it.
Indeed. Anybody else? Come on the mic yourself. Seven and one to be specific. Micah chapter 7, verse 1. Woe is me, I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the great gleanings of the vintage. No cluster to eat. My soul desires the first ripe fruit. Oh, I didn't even see that. Eat with summer sacrifice. Yes, sir. The good is perished out of the earth, none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net, that they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince asketh the judge for a reward. The great, he utter his mischievous desire, so they wrap it up. The best of them is as a briar, the most upright than a thorn hedge. The day, O your watchmen, the visitation come. Now shall he be their perplexity. Trust not in a friend, put not your confidence in the God. Keep the doors of your mouth from her that lie in your bosom. For the son dishonor the father, and the daughter rise up against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's enemies are the men of his own house. Now, he just mentioned here, right, the vintage, no cluster to eat, his soul desire the first ripe fruit. Shalom, each man. Let's take a look at it. First thing, summer fruit, same word for summer. Kaites, which is summer. Summer fruit, dry season. Produce, fruit, a gain. First ripe fruit. Of course, you should know that's Bukhara, first ripe. Early fig. First ripe fruit. Let's go to Hosea chapter 9. Oh, that's Amos. That's what I ain't saying. What I want to see. Let me see where I want to begin with that. Come on, Amos 9 and 1. Say, rejoice not, O Yasharal, for joy as other people, for you gone a whoring from your Elohim. You have loved a reward upon every corn floor. Now, see, that goes back to what we were referring to in Ezekiel, that you've been hoeing for a long time. Shalom, me. Notice what he told you not to do. Don't rejoice for joy like other people do. You know, you be so happy, oh, we got next, we the people of the book. What you rejoicing for? Do you notice that the Jewish people, they don't rejoice for that? They don't never talk about none of the stuff this man said they were doing. They don't even be concerned with it. Because they know they ain't did. They don't give a damn because they still doing it. But nevertheless, the floor and the wine press shall not feed them. The new wine shall fail in her. They shall not dwell in Yahuwah's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt, and they shall eat unclean in Assyria. They shall not offer wine to Yahuwah, neither shall they be pleasing unto him. Their sacrifices unto them as the bread of mourners. And all that eat thereof shall be polluted for the bread, for their soul shall not come into the house of Yahuwah. What will you do in the solemn day? What's happening with you, Zoe? No, that's Jose. What shall you do in the solemn day, in the day of the feast of Yahuwah? Now, pause. Y'all remember the solemn days, right? What does that mean again? What you gonna do in the solemn days? in the feast of Yahuwah. Yeah, daddy, you're behind somewhere. Yeah, I said it. Oh, y'all don't forgot. You niggas hide something?
Feast days, Solomon.
No, Solomon's again is your Moed. Yeah, it's your appointed time. He said, what you gonna do in those times? Now look at the key component. He said he was gonna put him out the land. If you're out the land, guess what you don't got? I said they were having this conversation last night. Let me ask y'all this question, right? Somebody said that the Persians and Medes had the Israelites in slavery. How would you answer that question if someone asked you that? Peace, brother Damon. He said somebody said the Persians and Medes had the Israelites in slavery. If someone asked you that, how would you answer? Shalom, brother Shaul.
The Persians were on that freedom.
Yeah, but the Israelites weren't never in slavery per se, except over here, because you could come and go as you please.
What's his name? Xerxes. He was a Persian.
Yes, he was.
You had Mordecai. He was in the king's court, right?
He was. But I remember what it said, right? He said there's in Esther, he said there's a people who don't keep the king's laws. And remember we talked about that captivity by definition in a lot of instances meaning exile, but a lot of Bruce see captivity and they take that as slavery. And a lot of you weren't slaves in Assyria per se. They ruled over you, but you could have left Assyria at any time.
I was gonna say then Darius gave a decree, y'all go back to y'all.
That's when coming in Babylon, the Persians had taken over from what his name is from Nebuchadnezzar, and they were ruling. But even still, before he gave that decree that you could go back to Jerusalem, you could have left at any time. The same way you could move from Florida to Texas and Texas to here until you could have did that then.
Was it in Jeremiah? They told them to build houses and.
Yeah, he said, yeah, you're going to be here for a little minute. 29 and 10. Omar posted that one last night. Shalom, brother Dave, man. That's right. They were expelled from the country. The only place where you could sit back and be like, hey, boy, you was like really being oppressed like that was in Egypt. Like, hey, boy, these people got you as a slave. Like, what? You working hard for the freedom. You know what I'm talking about? But for the most part, the other places, these people ruled over you. But you could get up and right now in America, you are not a slave. I think niggas really overuse the word slave. I don't think you really know what that means. Because slaves don't get a choice. Slaves do it or die. It said, is glory and history, spirit, truth? Oh, no, you just have to have understanding that this is something that people just were arguing about. But when you look at it contextually through the scriptures, like, nah, when they was in Assyria, they left. Some of them left, some of them stayed. Even when Cyrus gave the decree to leave from Babylon to go back, some of them stayed. Everybody didn't go back. Now, you know, they went back for the purpose of building the temple being rebuilt. Many have said this is the worst captivity. I mean, that's subjective because we wouldn't be able to ask anybody who was in another captivity previously to say that. You know what I'm saying? But then I say captivity, most part by definition means to be exiled. So is this the worst time we've been exiled? You know, somebody from 70 AD or the 1st century or the 3rd century or the 4th century, they might say that their exile was worse. Now, when you talk about barbaric, what you call it? Barbaric treatment. Yeah, this one here running neck and neck. But then a lot of people don't talk about what the sub-Saharan slave trade and all that went down with that because that was extremely barbaric. You know what I'm saying? We just, of course, you know, it's first person perspective because you're going to speak from what you see in America. You know what I mean? Say you who are bringing down celebrity God, man, like this generation different. See, like Puffy, I don't think Puffy would only relate to people who about my age or maybe 10 years younger. I don't think really younger people give a damn about him. It's not known for anything. Most of them was dead. Most of them wasn't even born when he was running around with Biggie. at the height of what he was, you know. Did he had a little run a couple years after that, after Biggie died, and then after that he just a nigga who had a lot of money who danced. I don't even think young people have even seen Sean John when it was something that somebody actively purchased, and not at Raccoon Shoes or Ross or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm trying to understand what you're asking, G. Is glory in history, a spirit and truth, scripture, or renewed souls? I mean, the spirit of God is through every generation. That don't stop. Joanne, hush your mouth. Yeah, he don't even really matter. Because I seen Lil Duval mention something. He ain't lying. Like, these little kids don't even want to be rappers no more. They don't even want to be athletes. They want to be streamers. And I wouldn't doubt it. Say Sean John is at Berlin. Yeah, he don't own it. He sold Sean John a long time ago. Nigga, we were buying Sean John off the rack brand new in 2001. So what that take? He should have left it back. He should have left it. Well, he getting ready to sell it back because them crackers finna take all that. Yeah, they finna take all that. He should have left it where it was at. Now some white man gonna get it. It's gonna be like Rockaway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where we at with it? So yeah, we weren't necessarily. You say you don't care about Diddy? Nah, of course that's not your time period, man. You know, do y'all know what year this nigga came? Like actually was on the scene? 1990. 1990. The first time we seen this funny looking nigga was in a Mary J. Blige video because he was her music producer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did. He did have his verse on there. Now he used to dance for Father MC, but y'all don't even know who Father MC is. You know what I'm talking about? He was a New York light MC Hammer. He tried to be MC Hammer from New York City, but it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? At least not at the level of Hammer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how long this man. Most of y'all weren't born. Or if you was born, you was a baby. And when he was at his height, he was at his height, I would say probably from whenever Flavor in Your Ear came out to whenever Shine went to prison. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think really like making the band and all that stuff.
That wasn't his height though. He was on the decline.
I'm talking about as far as my generation.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, by the time y'all seen him, he was on decline. Yeah, he was on decline. You know what I'm saying? His height was from Flavor, whenever Flavor in Your Ear came out, to when Shine went to prison. You know, that's about a 12, 15-year run I'm talking about. That's a long time. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no short period of time. Because he still kept it going after Biggie died.
That makes sense after that Sean situation. Kind of like Chris Brown. Yeah, they said
and come back and all that. Then he went to doing other stuff. And he wasn't as, you know what I'm saying? He said, well, you know, the Locks was with him around that time. You know, the Locks was around the time with Biggie. Because that nigga was producing. Jodeci and Mary, you know, he was an R&B producer. And then guess who he met? Clive, I Like Booty Hole Davis. That's who gave him the bread. And that's why the dude Gene Deal said that's who taught him. That's how he got. So you already know what he did. Somebody rubbed a pickle on his back and he was cool with it. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? A white man saying, hey, I got a couple $100 million for you, but you're going to have to let me tickle. And he say, well, you know what? I'm into that anyway. Shoot, you could have got that for free. And there you go. Oh, he said you remember that phone argument the Locks had with Puff, man, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The Free the Locks. And that was like 2000, 2001, man. That's how long ago that was. Man, sometimes you won't be realizing how, like, boy, that wasn't recent. Nigga, that was 25 years ago. Yeah, 25, and he was still getting paid. You gotta realize something, man. I was 16 years old when Biggie died, man. That was in 97. Nigga, I was in the 11th grade. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, we on that. I can't never forget when Pac died, only because Fat Boy birthday is the same day Pac died. Nigga, that was 1996. You understand how long ago that was? Nigga, that damn near 30 years ago. I'm like, Lord. You ain't never look at the 70s. You never saw it.
How young I was like, but that was 30 years ago. That's a long time.
You ain't never look at those 30. In the year 2000, how old you were?
7.
You wasn't thinking about no 70s.
2005, about what?
How old you was in 2005?
What?
Man, you were trying to get over the fact you were growing pubic hair. You were trying to figure out what was going on.
I was too. Because I used to always think about how old my parents were born. Yeah. My mom was born in 7.
Just putting that in perspective, like, that's crazy.
I'm talking about that nigga. He wasn't thinking about that. That nigga was out there in the apartment being a nigga. Yeah, that's what you were doing. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. So you were 10 when Pac died. And I read a book about him and his death at 17. Man, I'm telling you, that was a long time ago, man. Come on, where we at with it, right? Hosea 9 and 6. For lo, they're gone because of destruction. Egypt shall gather them up. Memphis shall bury them. The pleasant for their silver, nettles shall possess them, thorns in their tabernacles. The day of visitation will come, the day of recompenses will come. Yasharal shall know, the prophet a fool, the spiritual man mad, for the multitude of your iniquity and the great hatred. The watchman of Ephraim with my God, but the prophet a snare of a fowler in all his ways, hatred in the house of his God. They have deeply corrupted, as in the days of Gibeah. He will remember in their iniquity, and he will visit their sins. He said, I found Yasharal like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first ripe in the fig tree. Hey, hush, hush, hush. Ain't nothing to talk about. And you too old to be playing with it. Then when you get caught out of pocket, you want to cry. Hosea 9 and 10. I found Yasharal like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first ripe in the fig tree at her first time. They went to Baal Peor and separated themselves unto shame. And abominations were according as they loved. Now listen. That man said he saw you as the first ripe fruit. What do you think this can refer to? Let's take a trip back. We read it last night. I'm going to read it again. Exodus 13. And if you want to know separating yourself to the shame of Baal Peor, we'll read Numbers 25 if you don't know what he's talking about. Exodus 13 and 1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn whatsoever opened the womb among the sons of Yasharal, of man and of beast, it mine. Now remember, we read verse 15. What did he do when he came up out of Egypt? He slayed all their firstborn sons. So he's seen Egypt, and remember, what time of year did he do it? In the summertime. So this is why he's telling you, I seen you as first ripe fruits. So when you look at that, he look at a firstborn son as that first ripe fruit or that summer fruit. And this is going back to what we started from and wherever we was at. I can't even remember where I was at. Damn. It'll come back to me eventually. Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what's the next thing? Oh, Numbers 25. and 1. Y'all know what was going on with Baal Peor? Y'all know what was going on. They were being freaky behind niggas, a 69 God. Numbers 25 and 1. And Yasharal abode in Shittim. The people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. Let's give a little background on Baal Peor for those who may not be familiar. Let's see here, man. Baal Peor is a deity worship at a mountain peak. This was a Moabite deity. Let's put that other one on there, that noon. So listen, here we go. This is the same deity that Balak, king of Moab, tried to get Balaam to come fool with. You worship him at a mountain peak. In the book Paradise Lost, it's said that he's also known as the fallen angel Chemos. You know, take that with a grain of salt. And Shittimon, they marched the Nile with wanton rights. His deeds are described in the first book epic of Milton's describes Satan followers who were banished from heaven and pledged themselves followers of the underworld. It's said that he's visible from the mountain peak, O Bel Peor, and the house of Peor. Old funky bastard. You said you had that book, or you just ran across that book? I can't remember what we found the first information on it. This information on here, they got it here kind of weak.
What is that? What is that Paradise Lost?
It's supposed to tell like
Satan's story.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
What is it? Like Catholic.
It's almost similar to what you would to a Greek epic. It's how he wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Homer wrote Iliad. You know what I'm talking about? But he's writing it from the perspective of Satan and his followers. That's how he wrote it. Which is Shalom, Brother Herman, which is where the idea that Lucifer is the devil springs from. Like he said, dude was a Catholic. He produced that idea. The Catholic Church perpetrated it. And that's why in 2024, people still running around here saying Lucifer is the devil. And you ain't even know where it came from. But it came from a small little white man who wrote a book about Satan. Which has got to be, and had the nerve to call it Paradise Lost. Now, I think he probably wrote it from the perspective that Satan lost paradise and the people who got down with him lost it. But yeah, you know, you can look the book up for yourself. It's not as weird as, say, Secret of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. I wouldn't recommend any of you read Secret of All Ages by Manly P. Hall because that junk got some weird stuff in it, man. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I seen that book before I was in the Word. I ain't even wasn't in the Word. And I was like, I ain't reading the rest of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he can have that. I'm good on that. That book got a real deal witchcraft in it, man. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, yeah, I'm straight on that. Paradise Lost. Manly P. Hall wrote a book. Manly P. Hall, as Mika just stated, that I left that out. Manly P. Hall was a 33rd degree Freemason. He wrote several books. The books that he's known for is Secret of All Ages. I wouldn't recommend you read it. That nigga literally got photographs of Mephistopheles and all type of old weirdo stuff in it. You know what I'm talking about? I told you, when that nigga gave me that book, I read probably about a quarter of it. When I looked, I said, well, I know this little ugly little nigga, where this come from? I said, oh, yeah, you get that back, cuz. I don't even want this book no more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the front cover I had nothing on it.
Oh, yeah, it has a lot of deeds on the front. It's a tiny.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of deeds on the
Yeah, I mean, he was a Mason. And he wasn't, and Manly P. Hall didn't hold nothing back. I can't remember what deity was in Sokoke. I think it was Ball in Sokoke, but no, man. You know, that was the trick house. It's in the text. Y'all can look it up. So I don't know what it is. Yeah. I mean, I just like, I'm be honest with you. I wasn't in the Word with it, right? When I seen it. But boy, if you know your faith ain't rock solid like that, that ain't no book you want to be delving into. Because that nigga on some weird stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't necessarily that the book itself is going to do something to you. It's going to be that if you don't really know what you're looking at and you ain't really firm in what you're dealing with, that man going to take you on a roller coaster ride. Because he's dealing with a multitude of different deities, myths and stories with those deities, and the spells and things that they do to conjure up those deities. So I knew about Mephistopheles for years. He a little hobbit-looking little bastard, which is probably what them hobbits is in Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? And probably a number of little demons.
I had Hermes Trismegis's book.
I read that in prison also.
I love it that now.
See, Hermes Trismegistus is Thoth, who is the Jute, which is the Egyptian god of wisdom. You know what I'm talking about?
I think that way they get a lot of that, like the transgender stuff. They be talking about
That's Happy.
duality.
Remember, we talked about Happy. The transgender stuff come from the Egyptian god Happy. That was the dude with the titties. No, that was a tranny god. Not making this up. Oh no, this past Solomon and the Witch of Endor. That way past that. That ain't even got nothing to do with that. Yeah, they ain't got nothing to do with that. Happy, H-A-P-I. We discussed it before. Happy, H-A-P-I. Oh, I'm not sure on the word itself, but the Egyptian deity Happy, H-A-P-I, is a transgender deity. You know what I'm saying? And I always can't remember the deity. Remember, because we looked at it. Other one, the deity who got a leg spread wide open, like how Lil Kim be posing, because that's an ancient deity. I know that was an Egyptian deity, because you have to look back. I can't remember what videos it is, man. We had a run about 3-4 years ago where we discussed every idol god mentioned in the text and did a historical background reference on every single solitary last one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's right, the Nile River god. But yeah, Hermes Trismegistus he's either known as Thoth or the Jute, and it's borderline that medical symbol with the snake. That's supposed to be him, if my memory serves me correctly. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people on the internet, a lot of people be reading all that stuff and they be feeling like that be the truth.
It do. I mean, if people read that stuff because they don't fool with the word. Now, why people don't fool with the word, it could be a multitude of reasons. A lot of people don't fool with the word because of the people who say they fool with the word. To be 100% honest with you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't fool with the word because they don't understand it. You know what I'm talking about? They said a ruach would make my ears and eyes when I was unknowingly. Yeah. Like I said, you ain't lying, sister. There's some books like, yeah, I'm good on that. Remember, I told somebody this about almost 10 years ago. They were like, I want to read all the stuff you used to read. I said, baby, I read all that before I was in the word. I said, I wouldn't recommend you doing that. And I know your faith ain't solid. And that nigga ain't in the word right now. You know what I'm talking about? I don't think it was because I don't think that nigga read none of that stuff. But when you read that stuff, you go to mixing and matching. That's what you read. You'll have women read certain stuff and then they try to incorporate God and stuff in the word because you mixing and matching. You know what I'm saying? You'll have dudes read certain stuff and you try to take stuff from other ancient deities and mix and match. When that stuff really don't line up with the text in no shape, form, or fashion. And that's when people say, oh, see, this Bible's fake, it's a myth, it's this, it's that. That's where all that stuff come from. You know what I'm saying? That's where people come in. You got to have your duality, your balance. Like, baby, that's yin and yang. That's Asian deities, baby. Yahuwah ain't never told you nothing about balancing no male and female. He ain't never told you that. He ain't never insinuated that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never told you that. Man, I can remember as a young boy always hearing on TV them people trying to say God was a woman. And then you got Bruce who'll come in here and tell you the same thing. That man ain't never said he was a woman. Never insinuated he was a woman. Well, how can he be a creator without the woman? Who said you needed a woman to create? You know why you said you need a woman to create? Let's look at Isaiah 55. And it's not to diminish the woman, but you're looking at it from a natural standpoint. Guess what? Yahuwah don't need nobody to do nothing. See, we were talking about this last night also. Like, hey, you can look at him like, okay, Yahushua is God, but Yahushua has a God. Because guess what? If he come from the Father, that means he was made. But who made the Father? No one. That's why they say, well, if he's created, where's the woman to create? See, now you're taking away from Yahuwah. As if he needed somebody. That's why you have certain scholars who write books and say that Asherah or Ashtaroth was his wife and his co-consort in heaven to create everything. And you know where these scholars get this at? Because idolatrous Israelites would write some of this stuff down or participate in that and they would say, well, this would it would have to be because this is what sinners were doing. See, when you look at a lot of this stuff, these scholars write, man, they writing from the standpoint of what sinners would do. Hey, sit down and be still. That's what people's problem is. That's why I told you when people like, oh, Jewish thought. Who cares about what sinners had to say? Sinners will lead you astray every time. Isaiah 55, man, and 8. He say, for my thoughts, not your thoughts, neither your ways, my ways, saith Yahuwah. For the Shamahim are higher than the Arats, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So for as the rain come down and the snow from Shamahim and return not hither, but water the earth and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. It shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper whereunto I send it. Now, we could come back and discuss that, giving seed to the sower and bread to the eater, because we ain't talked about that in a while. That's right, Karan. The movie Dogma had a woman as a god. I'm not familiar with that movie. Y'all familiar with that movie? Sean said a movie called Dogma. Dogma is just a word for
Dogma?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it.
I haven't seen it.
No, dogma just means people say religious dogma. That just means doctrines, traditions, rituals. You know what I'm saying? That's really all it means. But I can give you the exact definition of it. Diego said he thought that staff was mocking Moses. Oh, no. That staff around the serpent around that staff, that's an Egyptian deity. That's where it comes from. Yeah, that's Egyptian. Hold on, I'll tell you which god it was. You know, I'm getting old. I don't remember all that stuff, man, no more. Now, most of them ain't that adept, dear, to go that far. Yeah, the Cadices. Yeah, it's Hermes. So yeah, I was right. It was Thoth. You know what I'm saying? That medical symbol depicted, it's a caduceus. It comes from the Greek word meaning herald's wand, and it refers to the staff carried by the ancient Greek god Hermes, called Mercury. And in the Sumerian mythology, it is Ning Gid Hizada. Yeah, so that's where that comes from. You say Matt Damon and Ben Affleck was in that film. Very well. I think I heard of the film. D said they got that whole book on their CIA website. The Secret Teachings of All Ages. My God, today. Ain't that something? The CIA say, man, you come read this yourself. You ain't even got to pay for it. Yeah, dogma by definition is a principle of set principles laid down by an authority as incontrovertibly true. That's what dogma means by definition. Yeah, it starts off with Kabbalah. You know, if you don't know what the Kabbalah is, that's Jewish mysticism. Some people consider it to be witchcraft. You know, they got the tree of life little thing. If you remember back in the day when certain celebrities used to walk around with the burgundy wristband and the red wristband on because they were Kabbalists. Yeah, you're dealing with alchemy. If you don't know what that is, that's turning base metals into gold, which is the esoteric belief that you can turn man into God. You know what I'm saying? All these type of things is contrary to the will of Yahuwah all the way around the board. But you have to understand something. The average person don't know Yahuwah like that. So when they run across this information, see, a lot of people, you're ready to fight and tear down the information. Now, I can tell you, this is what we would do. Just word-wise, Isaiah 27. You say, I got that one. You wear all black because they worship Saturn. Oh, Quran said he got that book. He never read it. There's a fruit that the snakes represents the entrapped souls of that realm. I'm telling you, that is interesting. Say, oh, Haket, the frog head female symbol. Isaiah 27 and what, folks? Now, one thing for those of y'all who are not familiar, y'all already know it. When it comes to the history of ancient deities, we will discuss them so that you can know and then recognize it when you see it. You know what I'm talking about? Some people don't know the rites, rituals, stories, and none of that of ancient deities. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them people that feel like that's information that should not be known. You should be abreast of certain things of other cultures so you can catch it when they try to interpolate and interweave their lies with the word, because that's all these people be out here doing. Because you should be able to recognize idolatry. Now, if you go to falling off into idolatry, that's just because that's what you wanted to do. Yeah, it's 27 and 6. Isaiah 27 and 6. You see, I was interested in seeing that saying from their side, but never got into it. Yeah. See, you know, I done told you before, but this is for people who don't know. You know, when we were young, when I'm talking about young, I'm talking about from 1994 until I went to prison. I ain't even say that until I got out of prison in 2009. We was always on some different type of time anyway about wanting to know certain information. You know what I'm saying? So we were already reading books about Masons. You know what I'm saying? Nigga reading Dr. Franz Cress Wilson books. You know what I'm saying? There was a store on Lem Turner where we used to be able to go and buy Dr. York scrolls. That's why when the dude who say he Dr. York's son be coming on Clubhouse, I be like, nigga, you lying, nigga, because I read your daddy books my entire teenage years, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or we read Niggas of Gods Volume 1 and 2, you know. What's Elijah Muhammad book, what it was called? Message to the Black Man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I done read Christian mysticism, Sufism, which is Islamic mysticism, all that stuff, nigga. I ain't gravitated none of that stuff, nigga. I'm talking about, nigga, we done studied Nation of Islam teachings, 5% teachings, nigga. 5% teachings ain't nothing but Nation of Islam teachings, which come from a white man who said he was black, who was telling you the black man is God, and he took that junk from Freemasonry. I did read it. You know what I'm saying? I read quite a few of Dr. Yosef Ben Yohanan books, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? From Henry Clark, all type of stuff, man. I'm talking about stuff from white folk. I read all the stuff about the patriot movement, the sovereignty movement. I done read a lot of stuff, don't remember most of it. You know what I'm talking about? But what I'm telling you is when I got in the word, what I understood and seen was that these people were lying. You know what I'm talking about? And what I mean by lying is that they know the mass majority of you don't know what's written in the book. So when they come with these stories sound similar to stories you've been told about what's in the word, and you run with it. Like when I first got in the word, man, I used to hear people say Jesus is Horus and this, that, and the third. But when you put Osiris and Horus next to Yahusha, the stories is not the same. Or he had 12 disciples. They're not going to tell you that Horus was born from necrophilia. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that they cut Osiris up in 12 pieces and all she found was his phallus. And she copulated with a dead phallus. They're not going to tell you that. That's not being born of a virgin. She was married to the man already. She's a freak. She had sex with a decomposing phallus. So they say. A facsimile. I can't even say that one now. It's a real though, but it was dead.
So how did they get life?
How did they get life? My Lord, today. You say, yeah, that's what Solomon said. Yeah, man. That's right there, Omar. They took the Hebrew customs, made like burning sage. Well, I don't even know if they were burning sage in the temple because anything they burned, it had to be for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They just weren't burning sage. I don't think they were just burning anything. You know what I'm talking about? Dude, see calamus. See, that mean marijuana. No, you just a crackhead. What the name is? Nigga got him trying to win his wife back. Greg Mathers. What Greg makes? I know a crackhead when I see one. Now you a crackhead. But all jokes aside, though, I did. I actually read that for the first time in Justina on the block selling crack. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga would walk up to me like, this nigga read books. I'd be like, damn, nigga, I can't read books. I mean, shoot, nigga, we ain't doing nothing else. Nigga, we just sitting out here smoking weed, you know what I'm saying, kicking it. I might as well, because I'm either read it now or I'm gonna read it later. I mean, when I got my hands on Behold the Pale Horse, man, my homeboy wanted, man, look here, man, Brian wanted that book bad. He said, well, I heard about that, bro. I said, I'm gonna get it to you when I'm finished, but I went to jail first. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna shoot it to you when I'm done with it, bro. I went to jail first. But it was different, you know what I'm saying? It was different time because it wasn't on YouTube. But that's just what we were into. I'm talking about the core group of people that I hung out. We were just into that type of information. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This stuff, what is stuff? It was like I said, man, that conspiracy series stuff back then, it wasn't no celebrity stuff back then. Oh, we say Kabbalah are those Hebrews who worship Yah or Christian Hebrew. Kabbalah is I know it's bruised into Kabbalah. Kabbalah, Kiki, is that's Jewish mysticism. Let me give you a full rundown definition on it before I read this out there.
It's a law that the Yahuwah gave Moses that he told him not to write down.
Yeah, because every Jewish person doesn't participate in Kabbalah. Now, that's what they call, that's right here. The secret teachings of Moses. Kabbalah is the study of the fundamental laws that support existence and non-existence. Kabbalah is universal knowledge that has appeared in many ancient texts. It's an eso. See, that's what I was referring to before. It is full on witchcraft, Mika, no doubt about it. The three main religions have a mysticism. Christianity doesn't have a name they put on mysticism, so they just call it Christian mysticism. Like I read a book, I can't remember the name of the author. You might can look it up and find it. It was called Christian Yoga. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. And he had another book called Egyptian Yoga. You know what I'm saying? That's right, the Kabbalah tree, and they try to break down the tree of life. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, absolutely. Those type of books are definitely people that I've always told you this one thing: Yahuwah's not enough for most people. He's not enough. You know what I'm saying? They want more. People always think it's more, it's more, it's more, and that's why they go to read and searching. And as Omar mentioned, hey man, many books will destroy yourself because you're just looking for more, and more. Well, why he ain't talk about this and why he ain't talk about that? Did your mama tell you everything she did before you met your daddy? Because I bet you wouldn't want to know some of them. Did your daddy tell you everything he did before he met your mom? Like, God damn, you nigga want to know everything. Everything ain't your damn business. They're giving you what you need to know. Oh, what Hebrews do it? Word. Hey, it's some brews that do it, Kiki. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know a lot.
Every time you do like a pose or whatever, you paying homage to a being because all of the
Yeah, that's why a lot of brews tell you if you participate in yoga, you participate in idolatry. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go that far with it because in reality it's just stretching. You know what I'm talking about? But if you feel like, hey, if I'm doing this and this is representing this person, I don't want to do it. I ain't gonna be like, nigga, you tripping, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them pose the name.
yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I know they named the pose after, but before they gave it a name, the pose existed. So the pose in and of itself is not idolatry. You know what I'm saying? Now, Om is a god. And if you're not familiar, you know, when you get to the third degree of Freemasonry, they tell you the name of their god is Jah, Bel, Om. And Om is a Hindu god. That's why you see what her name was and Tina Turner in the movie. That's why she was around there doing it, because she was calling on her God. You say it's on a need to know basis, and you don't need to know. So Mika said it's a group of, she said, type in Big Judah on YouTube. It's a group of brews in the witchcraft. They started by reading the Kabbalah and the Zohar, and now they're saying Jesus had a wand that can summon angels, Ritual baths and horoscopes. My God, today. Yeah, a lot of them into chakras and all. See, you got wheels of light. I guarantee you when your black behind die, ain't no wheels of light in you. It wasn't nothing but blood, bones, and tissue in there. They talking about you got to get your throat chakra. You ain't getting your throat chakra right by putting on every phallus you see. So that's what you're doing. Talking about I need to get my chest chakra together. No, you need to get soul together. There's something wrong with you in your brain. Because you know why people go to that stuff? You know why these people really go to all this other stuff? Because none of these other gods have a standard that they must keep. Yahuwah has a standard that you must keep. All these other gods don't have no promises either. And they promise them the one thing that they want. That gets misinterpreted of what Satan meant when he said it. Is that you'll be as God. Because you want to be your own God. See, you don't want to be a sovereign under the sovereign. You want to be the sole sovereign. And that's what the problem is. Now come on back over here to Isaiah 27. 27:7. Have he smitten him as he smote those that smote him? Is he slain according to the slaughter of them that are slain by him? Hey, be quiet, be quiet. In the measure, when it shoot 4, you will debate with it. He stayed his rough wind in the day of the east wind. By this, therefore, shall the iniquity of Jacob be purged. This is all the fruit take away his sin. When he make all the stones of the altar as chalk stones, and that are beaten sunder, and the groves and images shall not stand up. Now listen, right? Because you know in these days and times, a lot of people tell you you shouldn't speak against what people believe, like what you believe is the end all be all. But guess what? I don't give a damn. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care what you think about it. Man, we will destroy your God, man. That doesn't mean I have to go around and pick a fight to do it. But if you ask me directly, I'll tell you your God ain't real. That it's a figment of your imagination. I don't care what no scholar wrote. I don't care what no scholar said. Nigga, that's a man who usually has an agenda to turn people away from the word of Yahuwah. That's right. That's what they're doing, going after other gods of horns. Let me tell you something, man, about it when you meet a certain type of woman that probably everybody in here has known. She can have a man who's good to her, honorable, just, and upright, but he dead serious about how things gonna be done in his household, and you gonna hold to that standard. And she'll go run out there and play the whore with a nigga who will let her do what she wanna do. He might like, you can't dress like that and be my old lady. So she gonna run over there with a dude who'll let her dress like that. You can't be my old lady. See, this is the thing. People call this controlling. See, ain't nobody controlling you. He's just simply letting you know, if you gonna be with me, you can't do that. I don't see how people think that's controlling. Because you still have a choice to do what you want to do. But you're just not gonna do it here. See, you think he's still supposed to let you do that. See, Yahuwah not gonna let you do that. So it's easy to run and go play the whore with somebody who will let you do that. See, On will let you do that. Baal will let you do that. Osiris, how you gonna follow Horus when his man was trying to be sodomized? The man literally ejaculated on lettuce, man. These people literally have hieroglyphs of them trying to sodomize themselves. What are you talking about? These men literally have hieroglyphs of them trying to perform fellatio on themselves. What are we talking about? Of course you're going to want to go over there. Of course, if you're a young woman who wants to be put on a pedestal, you're going to identify with goddess worship because you're going to want somebody to put you on a pedestal and worship you as a god instead of worshiping Yahuwah as God. Yeah, that's what you're going to want. That's why I say more people, when they come in their word, man, this is not, God bless Brother Smoke, this is not what they want. This is not what they want to do. And another reason why a lot of people don't want to do this is because niggas presented this to them as a black power movement, and then they found out that's wasn't what it was, and then they don't want nothing to do with it. Oh, I thought we were supposed to be uplifting the community and doing this, that, there, and the third. Then you find out that's not what the word is for. This ain't supposed to be taking some more community initiatives and building this and building that and building this. That man ain't tell your forefathers to go in captivity and do none of that. He mentioned the verse already. Omar mentioned it last night. When you got to Babylon, Jeremiah told you, man, build you some houses, man. Plant you some gardens, man. Y'all gonna be here for a little season, man. Get your kids married and just live peacefully till the 70 years is up. He ain't tell you to try to get equal with Babylon and take them over and do this, that, there, and the third. That wasn't you. How can you be sent somewhere for punishment and then think you're going to be elevated to be above where you're supposed to be punished? He said, since you sought after other gods, he said, I will send you to a land that's not yours, and you can be ruled over somebody who don't look like you. This is what he told you. So you thought he was playing? My God, today. She said, this girl I know called herself a mother goddess, got 7 children and not married. But she more than a mother goddess, she's a whore. Because if you got 7 children and you ain't never been married, and there's from several different men, you are a whore. And there's no way around it. And you just have to call that what that is. But somebody say, well, what if it's a man he did it? Well, guess what he would be? A whore. But you think she's just a whore and he ain't? No, they both whores. Because when they stand in front of that judgment seat, he going to say, whore, whore, toss him. He ain't going to be like, well, you know, that's a brother. So, see, that's what these niggas do. Yahuwah's not going to do that. You come in front of this man with 7 defiled offspring that you did not have on the clean bed, and he going to say, get you out of here and take your bastard babies with you because they all going to hell. Yeah, that's what he going to do. He ain't going to have no respect to persons. See, yeah, the problem is that because these men have respect to persons, you think Yahuwah do. And he don't. He don't care. He gonna condemn the wicked. He gonna justify the righteous. If that man or that woman did not convert them lives and become born again of the word, he gonna toss them. And all them children they got is gonna be a testimony against them because of their improper behavior. Because that's all he got to point to. Look at them kids. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Ain't nothing to talk about. And people don't want to hear that. Because all you had to do was just clean up your mess. All you had to do was go to the Lord and clean up your mess. The man said, you clean from the word that I have spoken unto you. How can a young man clean his way? By taking heed according to your word. That's all you had to do was clean up your mess. You didn't want to clean up your mess. You were banking that he was going to have mercy on you just because. And you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. That's not what's going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. Because guess what? You go to jail. Them people don't care nothing about them sob stories you telling. They don't care nothing about it. Not when it's sentencing time, do it. How many sentencing hearings y'all done seen on TV or on court TV or wherever you watch your court proceedings at, and you see them boys try to shoot that old sob story about why they should get some leniency. And what the judge do? Bam them. Sir, you killed 3 people. I literally just seen a video this morning. Dude, you killed your girlfriend. This man say, man, I heard she got shot 8 times. Then he can say, man, there's somebody shooting. I ain't counting the bullets. Not live on the scene. 8 is very specific. And guess how many times she was shot? 8 times. I bet you did know she was shot 8 times because you shot her. This nigga in the house when the police get there, this girl got a bullet in her forehead. He like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Telling the story. You knew he was lying because he started getting high-pitched in his voice. But he ain't lying, though. I done heard gunshots plenty of times. I ain't never counted. Not specific. You be like, well, that sounded like about 5, 6, 7. It's a general number unless it's like 1 or 2. I heard a shot. The boy shot a couple times. 8 is specific. Girl, brain matter in her lap. Brain matter on the wall. He killed this woman. You know why he killed her? Because she ain't want him no more. You say you heard a man say his mama did breastfeeding. Oh, Lord. As a grown man? I done seen some pictures of girl ladies breastfeeding 5, 6-year-old children. Man, this nigga got whole teeth in his mouth. You don't get that little, I'm gonna get that swole head boy and give him a damn sandwich. He passed the stage of needing breast milk for development. This nigga's supposed to be using the toilet on his own.
What's the oldest say?
2. And they should be weaned off by the time they hit 2. Now, in a different time in a different society, he said, oh, didn't. Oh, I didn't see that part. The heart covered it up. My bad. Yeah, in a different society, some of them would breastfeed a child till they were about 3. You gotta remember they lived a different time. You can't equate it to 2024 where you could go grab your air fryer or do this, that, there, and the third. They had to do that. Remember, you live in a first world country in a modern time, and people in antiquity didn't live like. No woman back then would have looked at it like it was a big deal to breastfeed a child till they were 3. But breastfeeding a child till they 5 and 6, that's just ridiculous. That little boy gonna grow up and be a freak. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that's why he committed his crimes, because he didn't get breastfed. That's a hell of a thing to say. I killed somebody because my mama didn't give me a titty when I was a boy. Lord have mercy. Say Satan moving for real. The kid got arrested for killing his girlfriend trying to get a special power expressed in the cartoon Naruto. Lord have mercy. He had to have some psychological issues, man. It's a hell of a world we live in, man. Come on back to number 25. This is a hell of a world we live in, I'll tell you that. Now, well, I tell you, you better protect your offspring. You want to run your offspring down there to see every movie that come out. They're going to be around here weird like the rest of these people turn. Because you got to ask yourself something. Most of us grew up and, little kids was hunching and all this. Where did you get that from? Because I don't think you saw that in your house every day. I don't think most of you at 4 or 5 years old. Well, you know how you really got it from? Old fast behind little boy or girl who that's what was going on in their house. And now they done taught it to yours. Now they around here dry humping. Some of them turn fast enough. They're not even doing draws on draws. They rubbing genitals on genitals. It's a harsh world out here, man. That's why you gotta be careful. Yeah, you gotta be careful who you send your children off with. Nigga come back, man. Nigga been to beat the brakes off your baby, man. Because everybody don't hold the same ideals you hold. Some people don't like children. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like children at all. And I never understood the people who don't like children that have them. You know what I'm saying? Now, they ain't get caught up in the moment. I feel like this here, man. If you don't like kids, man, go on get your tube tied, ho. Because you the one who be beating on the kids like that is the mama, because she the one who with them the most. You know what I'm talking about? When you catch a dude who don't like children, unfortunately, it seems like he always harmed children that ain't his. You know what I'm talking about? I haven't seen too many in my personal life. I ain't seen too many dudes who harmed a child and it was theirs, except for one. This dude beat his son to death. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the mama. She went on a whole campaign about parents killing their children. I think that baby would like too. You know what I'm saying? He beat his son to death. But the rest of them niggas, that was somebody else, baby. And I only know one person who molested their daughter. You know what I'm saying? Any other nigga? Now, it was a nigga we grew up with. Well, I ain't grow up with him, but I knew him from the beach, so it's almost the same. We was in that nigga went to prison for raping an elderly woman. When I seen him in the county, I'm like, yeah, boy, what you in here for? He lied. And he come to find out, man, he had done went in there and raped us like a 65 or 70-year-old woman. I said, yeah, bro, we ain't friends no more, cuz. I ain't gonna call his name. I ain't gonna do him like that because there ain't nobody know. But I knew the dude for a long time. But it's not no lie. No, I ain't being funny. I knew he was capable of doing this when I found out he did it, because that boy was hard up for loving. He was hard up. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting hold of nothing. He was a big dude. He was poor. He was horny. He couldn't get none. So to hear that, well, I actually read it in the newspaper. To see that, I was like, yeah, I can see you doing that, cuz. I can see you doing that. I'm like, all these prostitutes, bro, you want to rape an old woman? The boy caught 10 years for that. Yeah, he caught 10 years for that. I ain't gonna say that. Ain't no slap on the wrist. I know you think you'll get more time, but 10 years is a long time. I don't know if it's comparative to the crime, but 10 years is a long time, bro.
No, I just think that is a real violent crime.
Listen though. But you got to remember, this is not a state with parole, so it's not like he coming up in 2. he caught 10 and he'd be home in 3. He finna do damn near the whole 10. He finna do 8.5 minimum. He finna do damn near the whole 10. And I'm telling you, from doing 4.5, 10 years is a long time, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and debate if it's comparative to the crime, but I put it to you this way. Some of y'all been around here for 10 years. That's a long time, boy. That's a long time. It go fast in there, too. You know what I'm saying? It go fast in there, too. Do I think Nature Boy should have got life? Nature Boy should have got 10 life sentences. Matter of fact, Fat Boy, my homeboy sent me a video about Nature Boy the other day. Y'all know about Nature Boy, don't you? No, he wasn't no brute. Man, Nature Boy had them people out there in the woods, man. Nature Boy is so nasty. Nature Boy said he had sex with his wife while his son in the bed, butt naked. Old cult leader nigga. Yeah, they put him on trial in Atlanta, boy. That boy got life. He's supposed to got every bit of it. Every bit. Yeah, he supposed to got every bit of what he got. He said your best friend rode past the elementary school playground, saw kids doing something they ain't had no business behind the slide. Damn! That's why you better watch your kid, boy, you sending them out there, especially y'all be sending y'all kid to nigga school too. Better watch them. Pay attention to their behavior. Slow on, Brother Craig. But yeah, definitely, Emma, he should have got life. He got exactly what he deserved. That man was ripping all type of women. You know what I'm saying? He was doing all type of foul stuff. So I know a lot of brews, they don't really care about that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like any man who do that in incapacity is supposed to go to prison immediately.
I know that's why he fell off the scene.
Oh, he been locked up. Yeah, he got sentenced last year. Hold on, I'll tell you when he got
on the live, walking around naked
with everybody. Weirdo nigga, man. I ain't really follow him like that, but my homegirl in Memphis, she followed. His name was Alicio Bishop. He actually got sentenced. He actually got convicted in March. His cult was called Carbon Nation. He was found guilty on all counts, including rape, and he was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Just for rape?
I'm gonna tell you, it's what it say, man. This was in DeKalb County, so this is outside of Atlanta. This man is 40 years old. He was indicted on 5 charges, including rape. He was found guilty of count 1, rape, life without parole. Count 2, false imprisonment, 10 years. Count 3, prohibition on nude and sexually explicit electronic transmissions, 12 months. That was concurrent with the false imprisonment sentence. The 10 years is consecutive with his life sentence. Count 4, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions, 5 years. Run concurrent with the false imprisonment. Prohibition on nude and sexually explicit electronic transmissions, 5 years. Concurrent with the false imprisonment. Man, Georgia don't play no games. Like in Florida, rape carry 30 years. But Georgia has parole. So yeah, he had a rape count. They gave him life for it. You know what I'm saying? Straight him down. They had to, hey man, you can't do certain stuff, man. You put yourself in a certain position, man. People gonna get you out of here. He's supposed to got out of here though. That nigga ain't supposed to be free. You know what I'm saying? It be certain stuff we look at. They want to railroad a black man. Man, I ain't on that railroad a black man stuff. Some of these niggas supposed to be in jail. See, you know when you get that attitude that some niggas supposed to be in jail, when you been in jail with some of them niggas and you be around them, you like, you supposed to be in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where you belong. You ain't supposed to be out here with us. You know, some brothers in there, they just made some bad choices, put themselves in bad situations and circumstances. Okay, you got to suffer the consequences of your actions. Do your bid, come on home. Some of them niggas, they're where you supposed to be. They're where you supposed to be, nigga. You's a killer. You's a pervert. You just don't want to do right. We don't need you out here. Because all that, you want to destroy a black man, that's going to be the same black man climbing through your window. That's going to be that same black man catch your daughter and touch on her. Or try to catch you and pull you behind somewhere and do something to you. Or kill your daddy or kill your uncle because he ain't got no emotional regulation. Some of the niggas is exactly where they supposed to be at. And you don't get that perspective until you be in there with them. And you can see them. You be like, yeah, boy, the Lord do exactly what he was doing for you. Matter of fact, let me show you something. Job 19:29. I'll let Job tell it to you. Y'all know what it says. Then we read number 25. Job 19:29. And look at, I ain't gonna tell you right, because you know everybody say this particular statement. I don't wish jail on nobody. I don't. But some of them niggas need to be there though. You know what I'm saying? You do certain things, it's a consequence for it. And I can't give you a pass because you black or because I wouldn't want to be in prison. So it's like I'm not rooting for you to go. But bro, if you put yourself in that position, bro, that's just what it is, man. You got to wear that. It's the same with hell. I'm not rooting for nobody to go to hell. But if you put yourself in a position to go to hell, that's none of my concern. Because all I know is I can't be there with you. I ain't going to prison with you. I ain't going to hell with you. I've been to prison. I promise you it's not where you want to be. I promise you that. I don't care what state it is. I don't care if it's feds. You do not want to go to prison in the United States of America. But don't put yourself in a position to go and then cry victim when it's time to face the music, if you would. Job 19:29. Be you afraid of the sword, for wrath, the punishments of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment. And remember, he told you that the powers of be are of no threat to nobody, except those that do evil. Let's take a look at it. Romans 13, I believe. Man, if you serving Yahuwah, man, you ain't got to worry about them people. 13:1. You do not have to worry about them people. The only time you got to worry about these people is when you outside the will of God, boy. You might have a problem. And if you're committing crimes, guess what you're going to be? Outside the will of God. They're going to be a problem for you. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Elohim. The powers that be are ordained of Elohim. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of Elohim. They that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For those of y'all who don't know where that come from, that come from when Jeremiah told them from the mouth of Yahuwah that they all had to be subject to Nebuchadnezzar. And there were certain prophets telling the people that they did not have to be subject to Nebuchadnezzar. You know what I'm talking about? This is why Zechariah got his eyes plucked out, because he did not want to be subject to Nebuchadnezzar. See, being subject does not mean kissing they behind and this, that, there, and the third. As long as what's going on don't cause you to go against the word of God, that's all you need to be concerned with. You don't need to be concerned with what laws they passing that allow people to go against Yahuwah. That's none of your concern. This is not your land. This is not your system, and they don't have your God. So why is you trying to even get into that's none of my business? I don't care if they let faggots marry. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I just know I ain't supposed to marry now. And that's all that matters to me. Now, will I tell that sissy you dead wrong? Yeah, you dead wrong. Am I going to condone what they got going on? No. But I don't need to be running around talking about gay marriage every day. That's none of my concern. This is a God-forsaken place. It's not my business. He said, for the rulers are not terror to good works, but to evil. Will you then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and you shall have praise of the same. For he is the servant of Elohim to you for good. But if you do that which is evil, be afraid, for he bear not the sword in vain. For he is the servant of God, a revenger, to execute wrath upon them that do evil, which is what you just heard in Job. That's what they're there for. You ain't got to like it, but that's what it is. See, a lot of people look at that. See, that's to keep you in subject to the slave master. You put yourself in subject to these people. Because you could have obeyed your God, you wouldn't have these problems. But you didn't. And the one thing that I've noticed the entire time I've been alive being black is that black people do not like to deal with the consequences of their actions when they make the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? You want to play the victim, and you want somebody to feel sorry for you about the bed you made. If you made that bed, nigga, go lay in it and take a nap, go to sleep, do whatever you want to do with it. I don't care what you do in it, but you got to deal with that. No, I don't feel sorry for you. You know what I'm talking about? How can I feel sorry for you of a conscious decision and choice that you made? You knew what you was doing. You knew what could happen, and you did it anyway. That's on you. Jeremiah 27, man. Brother Omar slid that on there.
Tyreek Hill situation.
Man, them people was a little overboard.
That nigga was doing too much.
Sometimes niggas be acting like hoes, but you know what I'm saying? The police was too. It was a whole bunch of non-masculine energy going on from everybody involved. That's it. That's what that was. I'm Tyreek Hill. I'm the police. It was a dick swinging contest is what it was, and it was unnecessary. Now, what Tyreek Hill did is something I do all the time. Nigga, I'll have my license, registration, and insurance hanging out the window for you even get the car. I don't want to talk to you. And I don't have to talk to you. I'm not going to get disrespectful with you, but here you go. If you want to write a ticket, I'm gone. That's it. I don't want to talk. I done did that to police several times, especially when I was Uber and they pull a nigga over. Man, I just told Jimmy this other day, man, they pulled me over on Neptune Beach before the crack even got to the window. I was already like this here. Here you go. I already know what you coming to ask for. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not obligated to talk to you.
I feel like police justified.
Huh? What'd you say?
I feel like police justified. He said he did it too. On the side.
That what you said? I ain't.
We will talk about it. But I said the same thing. Like he should have cooperated a little more. He was like a whole.
Some stuff don't even be bad. It be like I said, be a dick swinging contest. I'm a man, you a man. I ain't gonna fold. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for
The nigga
that.
had tinted windows and he had it rolled up. They was like, roll it down. He ain't roll it down.
I mean, he's not obligated to roll it
I
down.
we know that, but you know, you living it, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, that's how I was saying.
I get all that, but at the same token, sometimes it's the same way. I got pulled over Uber and one time they talking about, can we search the car? I said no. He said, well, we're going to get the dog. I said, well, guess what? I Uber from 11 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to be out here. Do what you do. Because just because you feel like I'm supposed to let you do that, but I know legally I don't have to let you do that, I'm not just going to acquiesce because you feel like I should. If you ain't got nothing to hide, that's not the point. Nigga, this is my car. I said no. That should be sufficient. There's not suspicion for a felony going on here. I just showed you on Uber and you seen it. No, you can't search. You only want to search my car because you see I'm a convicted felon for narcotics.
Now, you're right, but if you had one of those crackers that just was having a bad day and just lived for life, that's the only one different.
I mean, they made me sit out there and I don't care. Do what you do. I ain't disrespect you. I gave you what you wanted. I ain't cuss you out, but I have the right to decline. You want to go get the dog? Go get the dog. I already know what you're going to do. You're going to say the dog alert. I'm going to make you waste all your goddamn time because you stupid. Because I was going to be out here anyway. You know what I'm talking about? You want to bother me because you feel, one thing I know about the police, man, for the most part is they feel like if that's what they want to do, you should allow them. And I don't care that you the police. I'm a man first. I don't care about your badge. I don't care about your gun. But that's also, my daddy was a police officer. So he taught me them certain things, man. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. He said, man, you ain't got to pull over where you don't feel comfortable and safe at. And I done did that before. And the police say, why you ain't stopped? Because my daddy, Officer Anthony Rogers, say, pull over where you felt comfortable. And I ain't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable for your safety and mine pulling on this highway and you get hit by a car. I say, did I ride off with speed? No. Did I have my flashes on? Yeah. So shut your damn mouth and do your job. I know what to do. I've been taught what to do. If you know you don't want to pull over there, you put your emergency lights on and you move at a speed to let them know you ain't fleeing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fleeing from you. You knew I wasn't fleeing from you.
The only thing I would do in Dwight college is like just supply as much as you can. Don't give them a right. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them to be justified, be blameless in the situation. So if he actually roll you one of them down and you can go ahead and do it, then you know once you got it.
I mean, I get all that. I can get it from his perspective. I don't have to. Now I know why the officer wanted him to roll the window down. You in a tinted car. I want to make sure ain't nobody in the back seat who can shoot me. But also, nigga, you at Hard Rock Stadium and you know these players going into the game. So this is your ego, bro. You ain't have to do all of that. You know ain't regular people coming through here. You knew once the window rolled down who that was and where he was going. Like, come on, bro. Give him his ticket, send him on his way. It's not that serious. That was ego, like Monte said. That was two men looking each other in the face and not wanting to blink. And then both of them getting emotional when neither one blinked. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very unmasculine behavior all the way around the board. What'd you say? What'd you say, Dwight? He probably would have because he would like to say, I'm the police. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That's what he did. See, I ain't going through all that. Put the nigga all out on the car, handcuff him by the speeding ticket. Not going through all that. Because I already know who this is when I pull him over. If I'm out here by the game, working the game, that means I probably done seen all these players come in here. At the bare minimum, I'm like, hey, bro, slow your car down, cuz. You tripping.
He really was speeding, huh?
I believe so.
They going 60 and 45 or something like that.
That's why he stopped it. And he's never denied that he was speeding. So I'm like, slow your car down, cuz. Or the bare minimum, hey, man, you know I'm going to have to give you a ticket, bro. I know you ain't got nobody in the back seat of this car, man. You going to the game, I know who you are. Now, if you was out here in the regular world, bro, hey, my nigga, you going to have to come from up out of there, cuz. Because my daddy told me this long time ago, hey, man, I want to go home, cuz. I don't know what you got on your mind. Nigga behind that tent, it could be a nigga in the back seat with the yapper right to the glass. Shoot, they ain't never stopped niggas before.
Like I say, you know what's going on.
Yeah, broad day to Sunday at the stadium. Come on, man. You know who that is, bro. I don't say that with ego, man. And then Tyreek feeling like I'm Tyreek Hill. You can't do me like this. You doing this to me because I'm a black man. Shut up, ho, nigga.
Now I feel like that might be his first time in that situation.
No, it ain't. That nigga been in jail before.
How he was acting like that was the first time.
Man. That's why he didn't get drafted high. Because he had been in jail for beating on his old lady. Hell no. Yeah, that's why he didn't. That's why he wasn't the first round draft pick, man. Man was arrested for beating on his old lady while he was still in college. That's why he was considered a troubled player when the Chiefs drafted him. They don't talk about it now because he probably done sold his soul in his booty hole at this point. Man, they gave that man a lot of money, man. This thing's come along with that. Well, as you can see with Puffy, that's what they own. They saying there's federal politicians in some of them videos.
Oh man, they like to have a good time.
Like to have a good time. All that. All that. Come on, man. Jeremiah 27. 27 and 4. Yeah, man. These people live different than us, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you, man, you don't want to push your children in none of them industries, man. You set them up for failure. Man, you'd rather your son have a trade and a skill and live a peaceable, quiet life than trying to be famous or trying to be an average. How you gonna send a nigga in the field where they just say they gave Joel Embiid a contract extension where he gonna get paid $64 million a season. You don't think some of these rich white men want his butthole after that? And I'm not talking about literally. Like, you don't think I'm on a piece of your behind? Well, I own you, boy. If I can give you $65 million a year, man, I want control over you. This is how these people operate. I want everything that comes with that. And he willing to take it. He's been in the business for a long time. He know what's going on. Come on, man. They just gave Dak Prescott $60 million, man. That's why the boy be holding out for that bread. If you're going to do all this freaking and nasty stuff to me, nigga, I want my money. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. You know it's serious, and Denzel Washington telling these people you better leave for the devil get there. Man, Denzel Ben told people, man, you better leave for the devil get there. Yeah, I seen that. Of course, trick that ain't ever been. Nobody want no have doggone TV dinner brownie at the house, man. You gonna scare all the hoes, man.
Hey, bro, you hard, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I mean, what? Why you for handling people? You say you gonna scare away the hoes?
I ain't talking about the women.
Yeah, the whole double cup of fraud. For money.
They say I'm scared.
I know.
That's crazy.
But you know, it is what it is, man. Yeah, Luke was on live talking about that stuff, man. Talking about, hey, saying the same thing I said. That they ain't start fooling with him until he sued about Ciroc. And that's when they started fooling with it. People say the Fed said they've been building a case on this man since 2008. That means you let people get abused for damn near 20 years and did nothing. This is what the Feds do now. They'll let you run a whole gambit of crimes for years. Yeah, they come get you. Yeah, they come get you. Man, them people sit there and watch you murder people and all. You could have stopped them from killing Uncle Billy. They'll sit there in a surveillance van and watch you get killed. And be like, okay, that's an indictment right there. Sit there and watch you get killed. The Feds was there when Pac got killed. You could have caught them niggas. Same way the sky ain't blue. That nigga dead. Jeremiah 27:4. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the God of Yasharal, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I've caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build you houses and dwell, plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Take your wives, beget sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons, give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that you may be increased there and not diminished. Seek the peace of the city, whither I cause you to be carried away captives, and pray unto Yahuwah for it. For in the peace thereof shall you have peace. This is why Paul said, pray for rulers and governors, because this is where he getting it from. That was Jeremiah 27. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Let me show you 1 Timothy 2, man. Because you know people think, oh, Paul be lying or he made this up. This is where he getting this from. Make sure I'm in the right place with it. It might be chapter 4, 1 Timothy 4. Oh, that ain't it. Oh, I know. Dang it. There it is. I know it's 1 Timothy 2:1. He said, I exhort therefore that first of all, supplication, prayers, intercessions, giving thanks be made for all men, for kings, for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty. Is that literally not what he just told them in Jeremiah? He said, when you pray for the peace of the land, that equates to your peace. This is not to justify these people and nothing they got going on. This is so to make sure that everything is beneficial to you. See, sometimes we put too much focus on the wicked. Sometimes we put way too much focus on the wicked. Them people is not important. Yahuwah didn't want to make sure that his servants are not bothered. You know what I'm talking about? Ask yourself this question. Any of y'all, since you've been truly and earnestly serving Yahuwah from the heart, when you done had problems with these people? You ain't never had no problems with these people. Now, if you run across these people, you need to do this Matthew 5 now. Come on over here to it. Remember, he said, don't take your liberty as an occasion to the flesh. Just because you got freedom don't mean you're supposed to act crazy. The Lord showed you that when he said, hey, man, what you doing giving him tax money? Nevertheless, to not offend them, take one for you and one for me, because we don't need them type of troubles. We're not trying to cause no trouble with these people. We don't care about these people. They're not important.
You seen that with them officers in Mississippi that got
Oh, I seen people posting about it, but I ain't looking into it. No, I seen people.
It made me think about that because when I saw the post, niggas talking, niggas be doing it, nobody be saying nothing. But I was just thinking to what you said, that really just be the sinners of that.
Some of it do. Now, if I was a sinner, I understand their angst, their anger, and their frustration. Right. See, that's why sometimes when you mention stuff like this, it's not like I don't understand your frustration or be like, damn, why they keep doing our people like this. I just have a perspective of godliness. I understand how things go. Same way when David was upset when the men died for touching that Ark of the Covenant. Hey, you can be upset about it, but I understand how it goes. You got to do things after the due order. It is what it is. Matthew 5:25. Agree with your adversary quickly when you are in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and you cast into prison. Truly I say unto you, you shall by no means come out hence until you pay the uttermost farthing. Now see what Johnny was mentioning, that's what a saint's supposed to do. So like I said, right, if I already know the police want my license and registration, I'm already agreeing with you before you get to the window because I don't have to talk to you. Now, if you begin to converse with me, does that mean that I should be belligerent, disrespectful, rude, arrogant, or anything of the such? No, because I already know if I do this, Yahuwah can very well take this stupid nigga to jail because it's not about you, it's about him. You don't want this cracker to have the audacity to blaspheme your God because you like, I ain't did nothing. Ain't nobody asked you for all that, cuz. That's a feminine reaction anyway. You getting emotional. If you know you ain't did nothing, you ain't got to go through all that. All right, so what's the problem? What's the issue? Or I just don't want to talk at all. I just don't want to talk because talking to the police for what? Especially if you pulling me over for whatever you pulling me over for. I already know I have the right to remain silent. I don't need for you to tell me that. I will exercise it. I don't want to talk to you. That's it. I don't want to talk to you unless it's necessary. But boy, one thing I know, you talk to the police too long, you're going to jail. Yeah, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. Come on back to number 25. And it ain't worth it. You also do got to take into account the attitude of the person, the officer who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because all of them ain't douchebags. To them, it's just a job. I got a job to do. I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? I just did this for the pension and the benefits. I really just want to go home. You got some of them, they take pleasure in harassing the populace. And then you have some of them who take pleasure in harassing a certain segment of the populace. And that's just the reality of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, police road pulled up on him when we was in Jordan. I told him about this here, right? He falling behind us, but where we going at, it ain't on GPS. So I stopped and we're like, okay, we got ahead of him, wait for him to get here, but it's across the street from the fire department. Man, fire dude come out the building. What y'all doing over there? I say, hey man, we such and such, we working at the old St. Mary's airport. Somebody's bringing a machine for us, man. It's not on the GPS. We see him walk back to the door. I said, look at this pussy cracker right here. You know what I'm saying? Like he literally like this here walked to the door and told him, call 911. Nigga, what? Man, we go over there to the spot and police pull. I walk right up on him. He say, man, this. I say, man, yeah, man, buddy tripping. He said, all right, man, I'm gone. But ain't even had that much of conversation. I'm like, clearly we ain't doing too much of nothing if I told him where we working at. Nigga, we were doing something, I wouldn't tell you we at the old St. Mary's airport. Clearly you would know where that's at. Yeah. Think we could have been gone if we was on some other stuff. Right. I'm gonna tell you where I'm going. I think you seen him when he was pulling off leave.
I was confused when I just said, I'm like, yeah. He called the police to the place where he said he was going. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it might have.
4 deep in charge of bad folk, bro. Man,
there's plenty of niggas in Jordan. Plenty.
I'm talking about around there.
Man, St. Mary's ain't that white.
It was too dark for him.
Yeah.
Too dark for him. There was an older white man. The police officer was a younger white boy. He like, yeah, man, all right. And he left. But then when like Jimmy and them, they walked off when they seen him. He told me, what they walking off for? I said, because they going to work, cuz. But really, they were trying to be nosy, and they got scared when he jumped out the car. I'm like, what you niggas scared of the police? I just don't understand that being scared of the police. That boy said, I wonder if 911 got call ID. That boy, he got there quick, though. He did. He got there real quick. Come on, man. Number 25, man. Let's look at what they were doing with Baal Peor, man. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. They called the people into the sacrifices of their gods. The people did eat and bow down to their gods. Yasharal joined himself under Baal Peor, and the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Yasharal. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before Yahuwah against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahuwah might be turned away from Yasharal. That man said, boy, hang him from a tree, boy. I want him out of here. Then, of course, Phineas came through, hit him with the spear, so on and so forth. So, Stan already mentioned this earlier, right? Let's look at Matthew 26 when you look like get your meat in the summer. You need to get that Passover bread, boy, so you can be able to be gathered in tabernacles. But you ain't going to be able to do that if you're sleeping. You ain't going to be able to do that if you're sleeping. I didn't want to set the stage informational-wise so you can understand what that means and why it means that. Matthew 26:1. And it came to pass when Yahushua had finished all these things, he said unto his disciples, you know that after 2 days is the Passover, and the son of Adam is betrayed to be crucified. Now he said in 2 days is the Passover, Genesis 8:22. Remember that it is not 4 seasons, because now they say it's officially fall. It might be fall for Mr. Charlie them and the rest of the world, but not in heaven. I read an article the other day. They say the Ethiopians are 7 years behind because they're on the Julian calendar and not the Gregorian calendar, because they just had their New Year. Like I told you, every nationality of people has their own calendar and own New Year. It's just not publicized like it is with the Gregorian New Year, which is mainly because America is the dominant superpower. So that's why that New Year is the one that is purported. Because if China was the dominant superpower, you would be keeping the Chinese New Year. That's what you would be doing. Whoever's in rulership, who has the most power, their customs are going to be the prevailing customs. Babylon was a prevailing society at any particular time during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. So whatever Babylon had going on, that's what was going on. Remember, I just mentioned what was in Esther. Let me read you Genesis 8:22. That's right, Brother Craig. Then I'll read you what's in Esther. He said, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Let me get Exodus 12 before I read this here, right? Come to Exodus 12. All we just set in the stage is that Passover is in the summer, therefore that summer fruit, that Mashiach was the first fruits, the wave offering you got to do, and that he's that summer fruit representative. Make sure you get your meat in the summer, because he said, my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. And whoever eat my flesh live by me as I live by the Father, to establish that, hey, you gather your meat in the summer, or you take part of that Passover meal, if you would. But Exodus 12:1. Yahuwah spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, this month unto you the beginning of months, it the first month of the year to you. This is where a lot of brews get it twisted. This ain't the first. Abib is not the first month of the year for the world. It's the first month of the year for those who serve Yahuwah. He wasn't trying to come in and fool what the people got going on. But like he said in Acts 17, at the ignorance he once winked at, but now he's called men everywhere to repent. And now they have to come in under that. But if they don't, that's on them. He said, I had a coworker who was an Ethiopian man. He said last year was 2015 and 2023 Ethiopia. They said about 7-8 years behind. They around there talking about Haile Selassie. He do it every time. You know about Haile Selassie? You listen to Jamaican music. You know about him, don't you? Haile Selassie is the Jamaican equivalent to the Lord. They say he's from Solomon. That's Solomon's son with Sheba. Not Bathsheba. Queen of Sheba. Say she doubled back round and he partook in the yams. Yeah, that's what they say. I don't think that would happen though. I think he just was a charlatan. Because when I told you this before, when Benito Mussolini came through, Selassie got missing. Yeah, he ran. He ran to London. When World War II popped off and Mussolini came through, and they was like, look here, man, that man slid. Yeah. But he's supposed to be the lion of the tribe of Judah. He's supposed to have been able to regulate. Instead, that boy hesitated. He got out of there. That's amazing. God scared. That's the same way, man. We was on there one time with Yahoo Judah. He talking about I'm the Christ. He said, sign my petition to the Catholic Church to give me my stuff back. I said, when did God ask? I thought God took. That's what he said. Conversation rule the nation. He literally said that when I asked him that. I asked him that. That's what his response. I said, okay, no further questions, bro. I know you're a charlatan for sure. No, I knew you was before I got here, but you confirmed that.
You removed all
That man literally told me conversation rule the nation, brother. I say, God asked. I thought God took what he wanted. I said, Lord, my God, today.
No, that's how you come on. And that nigga got that from Kendrick Lamar.
Come on, Luke 12. Lord have mercy.
That's a Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, that boy wild. The Eric ain't never lied, boy. They had Yaju on that other night, man, battling with yourself. Which one is the real Christ?
Oh, snap.
That junk was hilarious.
You know about yourself? Well, this is one nigga on the block.
Now, he knew. He been around.
Now I'm talking about, I don't know.
Yeah, he been around.
Christ.
Luke chapter 12.
I
Yeah, Puerto Rican dude. That nigga be cussing them hoes out, too. That boy say Jesus. It's three of them. They had a battle. They had a battle with four of them. This dude named Saint Rebel. Then they have Versace Jesus, but they ran him off. Versace Jesus. I ain't listened to most of it, dear. But yeah, they got a dude they call him Versace Jesus. That was his name on that. He said he was the Lord, but he wore Versace. So that's why he was Versace Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these boys be getting on here saying they God, and people like, we got to stop them. If a nigga silly enough to follow them niggas, they ought to go to hell. Hey, then he sent me a video like the other day of Dr. Bando. I said, you don't know Dr. Bando? Man, Dr. Bando is a fool. You understand me? No, that's the nigga when you hear him, I told you I was MLK. All you need him in 5 minutes, bro. He come in the room, bro. It's always bets on how long it's going to take before he cuts somebody out. But he said he Martin Luther King reincarnated. Every time he say he been reincarnated as some great black man, but he live in a damn mobile home with a bunch of niggas. My God, today. Luke, man, 12 and 41. You can't make this stuff up, man. Make sure I'm in the right spot of what I want. I'm going to read this one here, but it's the one with the first watch and the second watch and the third watch and get this information to people who may not be aware of it. Luke 12 and 41. Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speak you this parable unto us or even to all? And the Lord said, who then is this faithful and wise steward whom the Lord shall make ruler over his household to give portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant who is Lord when he comes shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you that he that will make him ruler over all that he hath. But and if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delay is coming, shall begin to beat the men servants and the maidens and eat and drink and be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he look not for, and at an hour when he's not aware, and cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. See, a lot of people, they like, oh, he ain't coming, and they playing games. And when he catch you, he gonna kill you. And you going to hell with the people who didn't believe. But we won't focus on the next one to say if he come on the first watch, the second, or the third. That's coming up in a moment. He said, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few. For unto whomsoever much is given, and of him shall much be required, and to whom men have committed much, of them will they ask the more. What did it mean? If you got the word and you did what you supposed to do, blessed be you. If you got the word and say, he ain't coming, he gonna kill you. He said, if you heard the word, but you didn't prepare yourself and you didn't do well, you might get chastised, you might get spared. And if you didn't know at all, I might spare you. Because if you got the word and you didn't do nothing with it, you're gonna have a problem. you're going to have a problem. That's what he really means when he talking about to whom much is given, much is required. If I've given you understanding of my will and showed you the perfection of my righteousness, and you said, I'm going to go get drunk and do what I want to do, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't hold you to the standard of somebody I didn't get at to. That doesn't mean that they're absolved. I just not holding, because you got more responsibility on your shoulders. Because I gave it to you. You knew what it was. And you didn't prepare yourself nor wait for me. I got a trick for you. You know what I'm saying? What after I got what I want though? Is that chapter 11? No, we need that first watch. What you talking about? Mm-hmm.
Say 40 goals.
Yeah, well, get what? He finna get his portion with the unbelievers. Because he out here playing. He ain't playing with us, he playing with himself. Luke 12. Verse 31. I hate a nigga like that. Don't bring me in that. Leave me out of it. Hey, bad brother. Hey, I hear all that. Leave me out of it. I don't want nothing to do with that. Luke 12 and 31. Leave me out of it. He came through the door before me. When the boy said, "Who the GD's in the door?" I was still behind razor wire. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, I was still getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning talking about child time. You understand me? I was still working on the side of the highway. I don't know what he talking about. Oh, I ain't get nothing together. Ain't not together, not no feather. Look here, man. One thing for certain. Hey, one thing for certain, two things for sure. Little mother can bear witness. It wasn't nobody shooting with me in the gym. I was Dolo. Shoot, I don't know how you gonna do that. He was in a whole nother state. I was right here in Duval County, baby. You know what I'm saying? Living the dream. Luke 12 and 31. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something even funnier, cause boy, Mona say she know Big Greasy. And say Big Greasy would have been on the same type of time with her. The plot thickens. Only thing thickened was the waistline. And she stupid though. She told that nigga, that's why your neck. I said, damn.
You like that one?
No, I mean, that's tough. That's tough if a woman said it. If we was to say it, it'd just be like, haha. But to hear a woman say it, it's like, damn. Shoot, you don't want to hear that. She said he was trying to get them yams. She told that nigga scram. Hey, some nigga like him, you gotta do him like that. But Luke 12 and 31. But rather seek you the Malkuth for Elohim, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that you have, give alms, provide yourselves bags with wax not old, a treasure in heaven that fail not, where no thief approach, neither moth corrupt. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. And that goes to some of the stuff we talked about Wednesday, about this man made himself poor that you might be rich. We ain't even really got off all the way into that because we're dealing with this poverty aspect, and we're going to deal with it all the way out after we leave Proverbs 6. Because Proverbs 6 is basically telling you, ant don't need to be told what to do. Get your behind up and move. When you translate that spiritually, once you've heard the word, you receive, because we talked about it last night, you receive the Ruach HaKodesh. You don't need nobody to tell you what to do. It's not that that you don't hear the word preached no more. You don't need nobody to tell you what to do. If you heard the word as a woman, you received the Ruach HaKodesh, then you would already know what a virtuous woman is supposed to do. Nobody needs to tell you that. You know why? The word is in you. If you heard the word, you don't need nobody to tell you what a just man would do. It's already in. And I'm not talking about just keeping no laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm talking about this man's entire character. His entire being. Good works would be something that is, this is just what I do. Because sinning wouldn't even be an option for you. Verse 35, Luke 12. Let your loins be girded and your lights burning. and yourselves like unto men that wait for the Lord when he return from the wedding, that when he come and knock, that they may open unto him immediately. Bless those servants whom the Lord, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say unto you that he shall gird himself and make them sit down to meat, and he will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch or come in the third watch and find so, blessed are those servants. And this know, that if the goodman of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and have not suffered his house to be broken through. Be you therefore ready also, for the son of Adam come at an hour when you think not. Listen, not only do you look at that as the aspect of his return, well, you better look at that as the aspect of your death, because you don't know when it's coming. Now, with that question, I know most of y'all already know the answer to this. So if you know the answer to this, I would rather you hold your peace and let the people who don't know the answer to this have an opportunity to answer this query. What is that first, second, and third watch that he is referring to? What is that first, second, and third watch that he is referring to? Because he say if he come in the first watch, blessed are you. If he come in the second watch or the third watch, blessed are you. What is that referring to? Muffania, find somewhere to park your behind. You want to sit under a table. Very well then. Lord Dwight, I can see you, boy. And Muffin Man, I can see you too. What you doing? Don't try to hide now. The first, second, and third watch. Who knows what he's referring? What do you believe he's referring to for those of you who may not have heard it before, to be able to answer that off the top? It could be that everybody here hasn't heard that before, and therefore I'll be waiting for nothing. You know what that's referring to, Doris? Oh, so then you didn't know and you didn't answer? So it means you don't know. So that means, and you didn't have an answer? Brother Harrison say coming back in the resurrection. So what's your answer? No, you're going to share. Because you don't have the definitive answer. So we need to go ahead and hear that. Not gonna make home. We're gonna have to send you over there where your favorite producer at. It's back home in your borough. You're gonna enjoy it there. You're gonna have to go in there with the diddler. They call a nigga the diddler. Who's the riddler? You're gonna say, riddle me this. All right, then. Since that they said anybody can answer at this point.
I like Johnny for 200.
The Johnny. What the first, second, and third watch is, man. He said he putting 200 up. So if you get it wrong, I get 200. So that's why we're going here.
Nah, we're talking about the time.
Still got time.
First, second, and third watch. What is it referring to, man? Have my money ready, man. I like small bills.
Third hour.
Oh, so you don't know?
We talking about on the spiritual level.
I just asked you a question, sir.
I didn't know which way you was going with.
Hold on. 2 Peter 3 and 10, verse 13. That's what Brother Marvin say. Let's see. That sounds like to me. He don't remember.
I would say first resurrection, second resurrection.
Oh, so he don't know. Yeah, he don't know. He done forgot. 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, the elements shall melt with fervent heat, the earth also and the works that therein shall be burned. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all kadosh, conduct, and godliness, looking for hastening unto the coming of the day of Elohim, when the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and new earth where dwell righteousness. Very well, but that's not the answer either. Who first, second, and third watch? We ain't talking about that restaurant you like to go to. You like to go on the first watch. That what you like? This nigga go to a breakfast spot for a salad? Hell, I can get a salad from anywhere.
Boy, Daddy got it, bro.
Boot want to put it on YouTube for the people. You want to try this one more time?
Gotta be already 200 in the hole.
Emma got one of them. It's Passover, it's Pentecost, it's Tabernacles. Why? Passover is the first watch, because that's the first time that you came out of bondage. Pentecost, the next watch, because that's when you got your first fruit. Tabernacle is your third watch, because that's ingathering. So when we come back to Proverbs chapter 6, look at Sylvia. He like this. He said, I can't talk, but I can type. He done married Doris, and now he done fell off. His health failed him. She got him right. He gave all his testosterone away. He don't know what to do. He's missing all his vital minerals.
All your vitamins.
Get that boy some mineral water. He need what Puppy had at the house, man. He gonna need an IV. My God, today. Listen, I'm gonna read Proverbs 6 and 8 again. Provide her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. This is what they do when they have need. They don't have a guide, a ruler, or overseer. Come to Proverbs 10 and 5. It'll take it a step further. Proverbs 10 and 5 says, matter of fact, make it verse 4. Matter of fact, make it 3. Hell, you can make it 1. Ain't gonna hurt nothing because all of it's gonna be relative. Proverbs 10 and 1. A wise son make a glad father, but a foolish son the heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness deliver from death. Now, we're going to deal with that one there because I know we started that conversation about your faith has saved you with being free among the dead. It's some stuff we need to deal with that. And also, and since these feast days rolling up, we got time, if the Lord permit. Verse 3, Yahuwah will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he cast away the substance of the wicked. Remember, if you hunger and thirst after righteousness, you will be filled. He become poor that deal with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent make rich. What is it to have a slack hand? See, some of these boys, it ain't slack. That's their problem. It's strong. When you're dealing with slack, there's remiyah. And that is to be laxness, slackness, slackening, deceit, treachery, guile, slothful. So, of course, in this instance, this is dealing with somebody who is lazy. He said, but if you got a diligent hand, you'll be made rich. Diligent in this instance is karoots, and that is sharp-pointed, diligent, strict decision. So, of course, this is diligent. Now, we can deal with that in a different fashion because we're talking about getting rich. And when you talk about getting rich, we're talking about them durable riches. Somebody who's diligent in the word, or seek ye the kingdom of Elohim first, and all these things. See, those who are diligent and seeking after Yahuwah, they hand to be made rich. See, that lazy man, you done forgot your first love. You need to repent and do the first works. See, you got lazy. You got lazy. And that's why you've become poor. You've been destitute. That which you had, he done took it. But look at the next thing, though. He that gather in the summer, a wise son. But he that sleep in harvest, a son that calls shame. Think about that for a moment. If you sleep in harvest time, that means you sleeping during tabernacles, man. Let's look at Mark 13. Look at what the Lord said. Same thing in a different way. Ain't gonna have nothing together. Ain't no fruit. See, you like the foolish virgin. You ain't had no lamp because you were lazy. You wasn't diligent. Can I get some of your life? Burn, baby, burn like Disco Inferno. That boy say, hey, man, I burn slow. Like Bunch with Yayo. You ain't know about that one there, little Johnny, huh? They ain't ring your bell?
We made it reference like last month, I think.
No, it didn't. I did not say burn, baby, burn like Disco Inferno. I burn slow like Bunts with Yayo. No, niggas know the lyrical molesting is taking place. I did not use that line. No, no, I didn't. I definitely know that song, and that song was not record. Yeah, but I didn't mention that line. You ain't peeled no skins. I heard you used to eat pork rind.
I was a young child. I didn't have a choice.
I hope Noah don't grow up and spit out things like grape seeds like his father. And he laughed at you. Come on, y'all. Where we at with it? Mark 13, verse 32. But that day and hour no man know, not the Malachim, which are in Shamahim, neither the son, but Abba. Take you heed and watch and pray, for you know not what that time is. As a man taking a far journey who left his house and gave authority to his servants, to every man his word, command the porter to watch. Listen, we done talked about that before. When he say give authority to all his servants, and that's referring to the authority that the apostles, prophets, pastors, and teachers have. Then he said he commanded the porter to watch, or to be the watchman, to be on guard, to warn the people. Because what is the porter? That's the doorman. Watch you therefore, for you know not when the master of the house come, at even or at midnight or at the cock corner in the morning, lest coming suddenly he finds you what? Sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. When we come back to Proverbs 10, what he just told you. He said, he that sleep harvest is a son that calls shame. A lot of these boys sleeping, man. When tabernacles come, they're not going to be ready. You ain't going to get no booth, and you're not going to get gathered. Now, for those of you who may not be aware of this piece of information, how we know that the Lord came in the first and second watch and you waiting for him to come on the third as it relates to these feast days. Because remember, right, trumpets, you got to keep it. Atonement, you got to keep it. But those 2 days, you're not obligated to come to Jerusalem. Every man is not obligated to appear. And he ain't obligated to come with something in his hand. But he say for Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles, he say all males must appear, and none can come empty-handed. Now, why is that important? You have to come bearing an offering to the Lord. When you sit back and you look at Passover, that offering was the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. You turn that to Mashiach, and Mashiach was that offering. This is how you know he came in the first watch, because he was crucified on Passover. You know he came on the second watch because he didn't come empty-handed, because he came back into the inner tabernacle to make sacrifices on your behalf and gave the Ruach HaKodesh. That's how you know he came on the second one. The third one, he's not coming back empty-handed, because he's going to present all the firstborn sons that are gathered from one end of the earth to the other and present them before the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? So when you sleeping in harvest, that's why you gather. What that Proverbs 6 said. Get back over there. That's why he provided her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. Remember, gather all that meat so it might be meat in my storehouse. They use that for the tithing, but they don't realize that tithing telling you about tabernacle, because everybody's supposed to appear. He said, cursed be the man that held the corn and did nothing to multiply. See, yeah, we were talking about that the other day. If a nigga tell you he got a word, but he ain't going to share it, that nigga going to hell. Because that's what he said, didn't it? He said, you wicked and slothful servant, you bear witness against yourself. He said, I knew you was an austere man. I knew you was. Since you mentioned it, Brother Herman. You got to read it. It's over here in Luke, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, he mentioned it. Because I wanted when he said, I'm an austere man. I'm an austere man. Luke 19. That don't even make sense to have had a word of life and be like, nah, I ain't gonna share it with nobody else. That's how you know niggas don't know the Lord. Because why would he give you something to benefit a mass of people, but tell you to keep it to yourself? It's a brother I know. He said your first ministry is with your family. I said, well, what you gonna tell to somebody who was doing it before they had one? See, that's that. I don't even know what you would call that. Because your first ministry is not your family. Your first service is to God. Before you had a wife, before you had children, you should have already been serving God. And if he puts you in the ministry, as far as having authority over his house, then his house come before your house. That's how that works. It's not, oh no, I can't preach today. I just want to spend time and relax with my family. You don't work for God. Don't sign up for it if you don't want what come along with it. Because he said you could even be his disciple if you weren't willing to forsake everything that you have. That don't mean you leave your wife at home with the kids to fend for herself, but you can't put her before what God said. That's what's wrong with a lot of these niggas, is you'll put a woman before what this man put you here for. And again, that goes back to the conversation that we had about being a servant versus being a helpmeet. You do not put that woman before what he put you here for. He did not create a woman for you to put her before him and what he put you here for. Does not Romans 8 tell you that all things work out for good who are called by God according to his purpose? Now imagine if Joseph put a woman before what God called him to do. Imagine if Yahushua did that. Imagine he told Jeremiah, don't even take a woman from this place. What if Jeremiah said, but I want me a wife, so I like her. I'm going to put her before what you told me to do. Like that's a backwards thought. I don't even understand how that works. And this is how you know that most people who out here are not even cut or qualified to work for this man. Because they're going to put something before what he's something to do. There's not a woman on earth greater than the work of Yahuwah. It's absolutely none. What can she give you that she can even quantify in comparison to what Yahuwah gonna give you? Absolutely nothing. This don't mean you don't love your wife. This don't mean you don't spend time with your wife, but you don't put her before your work for the Lord. Now, if you talking about natural stuff, that's your business. Hey, man, if you feel like, hey, man, I'm gonna put my wife before this job, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, man, put my PTO in. Who gives a damn? That's not the same scenario. You know, I've been grinding hard in my business, man. We got enough money. I'm going to take a week off. All right, cool. Who's got anything to say about that? If the Lord told you, go to this city and preach, and you say, no, I need to spend time with my wife, you ought to go to hell. You know what I'm saying? You ought to go to hell for that. Because he explicitly told you to do something, and you said, no, this is more important. That's not how that works. And you don't understand that, you can't work for him. He said Job denied his wife and didn't curse Yahuwah. Indeed. And I think that might be more so of a Christian standpoint of how pastors work, from what I done seen. He said he gave this to each other, and that's right. You definitely can take. See, a lot of times, man, and I done told y'all this before, it can happen like this here, man. When you put somebody on that much of a pedestal in your life, Yahuwah take them away. And I ain't necessarily saying they're going to die. You know what I'm talking about? But he can take them away. Because they done became an idol in your heart because you putting them, you ain't supposed to put your kids before God. That's what some people say, they put the ministry before me. Baby, you should have known that when you married a man who preached. If you ain't know that what came along with it, why did you should have married a regular nigga. A nigga who gonna show up to service with you, y'all go home and do that. You can't marry somebody who worked for God and expect him to put you before God. That's crazy. And extremely selfish, to say the least. And there go Dr. Bando right there. The real Jesus, please stand up. There go Dr. Bando. Dr. Bando. He was calm in what you seen. Bando get crunk up, well, that junk is pure comedy. He said, that's right. Remember Mashiach said, let the dead bury the dead. They found excuses not to follow. Indeed. That's right. He took Ezekiel's wife and told him not to feel anything. Preach the word. He definitely did. You can't have them type of, I remember your man, Big Green was on that there when we were talking about that. You can't have no emotional attachments to people and serve God. Because your emotional attachment to that person will cause you not to do what Yahuwah tell you to do. But hey, man, people may not agree with it. People may not like it. It just is what it is. And again, this is not a rhyme, reason, or excuse for you not to love your people. But I'm going to read this Luke 14 to 26 before I read Luke 19. (14 to 25, actually). And there was a great multitude with him, and he turned and said, if any come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, and yea, his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever do not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Verse 33, so likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsake not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. What does this mean? He can't bind up the testimony and seal the law in your heart if you're not willing to walk away from anyone for his name's sake. Some people are like, God ain't never told you that. That man said, have no other God before me. He told you in Ezekiel, any man who got idols in his heart, I'll answer him to your face. See, you think an idol is just something you bow down and worship. You think an idol is just that Christmas tree. An idol is anything that you put before God. That's it. An idol is anything you put before. That's why he said, have no other God before me. What does God mean? That's another power, another sovereign, another ruler. That can be anything. Let me read you that Ezekiel 13. I know people be thinking we be making stuff up. It's actually 14. That's right, Brother Herman. Amen. You definitely did now. And you were dead right, too. Ezekiel 14, verse 4. Make it 1. Then came certain of the elders of Yasharal to me and sat before me. The word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of Adam, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their faces. Should I be inquired of at all by them? Therefore speak unto them and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, every man of the house of Yasharal that set up idols in his heart and put the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face and come to the prophet, I Yahuwah will answer him that come according to the multitude of his idols, that I may take the house of Yasharal in their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. Therefore say unto the house of Yasharal, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, repent and turn from your idols and turn away from all your abominations. For every one of the house of Yasharal, or of the stranger that sojourn in Yasharal, will separate himself from me and set up idols in his heart and put the stumbling block of iniquity before his face and come to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I Yahuwah will answer him by myself. Man, that man just told you, man, I'm going to answer you according to the multitude of the false gods you got in your inner man. That's how I'm going to answer you. You can't put nothing before him, man. This is just in regular life. But if this man has found you faithful enough to be a steward of his word, you definitely can't do it. And that Sister Kelly just mentioned, and y'all know the Luke 9. He said, let me go back home and bury my daddy. Or let me go home and kiss my people goodbye. He said, hey, man, let the dead bury the dead. Any man put his hand to the plow looking back ain't fit for the kingdom of God. Man, you not fit for this man's kingdom. You talking about I need to go home with my wife. She missed me. You're not fit to do that work if that's how your mind operating in. Just be a member. Meaning, what does that mean, right? Some people get chosen to do that job. Like Amos say, hey, man, I'm not a prophet. I was a herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit, but he told me to go. That's a different type of situation. But when you talk about how you say somebody desire the office of a bishop, if you want that position and you qualify for that position, then you would need to know what come along with that. You need to know what come along with that. If you're not willing to do that, I wouldn't recommend you take the job. And I don't think a lot of brothers who, especially some of these older brothers, they could be wanting to throw people out there. You're like, man, you should just let them young men preach. Well, you're going to set somebody up for failure, man. A lot of these boys, they don't give a damn. They just feel like I got something to say. I'm outcast. The South got something to say. Let me say it. Damn his life, your life, everybody's life. Luke 19, man. (19 and 11). And as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable, because he was near to Jerusalem, and because they thought the Malkuth of Elohim should immediately appear. He said, therefore, a nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this to reign over us. It came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, that he commanded these servants to be called unto them. to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. We're gonna look at occupy till he comes and then trade. He said we got to be like that soldier that was so dedicated to you when he died. King David, man, trying to get his wife, he didn't even know he was standing up. Definitely. And you remember what that servant said? He told David, wherever you go, I'm going. That's why the Lord said, wherever I am, my servants will be also. Mormon church abuse. That's the help of you, man. When you look at occupy, that's to carry on business. To carry on the business of a banker or a trader. That is prag mat yoomaheh. To trade. This is literally talking about how to be a trader. When he told him that, he told him to get on that grind. See how that's not being a slack hand? See, this was a lazy nigga we about to read on the back end. That's why he ain't getting no harvest on the back end. Now, that Greek word for trading is aprag mateome. To earnestly undertake a business. To undertake a business for the sake of gain. To gain by trading. Verse 16. Then came the first saying, Lord, your pound have gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well, you good servant, because you've been faithful in very little, you'll have authority over 10 cities. Absolutely. I must be about my father's business. And the second came saying, Lord, your pound have gained 5 pounds. He said, likewise to him, be you also over 5 cities. Another came saying, Lord, behold, is your pound, which I've kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared you, because you are an austere man, and you take up that you laid not down, and reap what you did not sow. Austere, for the people who don't know, he's an austere man. Austere is harsh, rough, rigid, of mind and manners, severe. Y'all know what it is to be rigid? You ever heard that terminology? You know who Colin Cowherd is? He's a sports captain. You know what I'm saying? On Fox News, been around for years. You know what I'm talking about? But he always used to call Bill Belichick that he was rigid. I'm trying to give you a context.
Is that similar to uncomfortable?
Yeah, basically you don't change your ways. The way that you operate, that's the way that I do things. I don't care what new ways come up. I don't care what other people do. I'm staying like this. You know what I'm saying? He tried to say that's why Bill wasn't successful. Bill wasn't successful anymore because he didn't have a quarterback half as good as the one he had previously. You know what I'm saying? People like to say, it's a perfect marriage, a good coach and a good player. Because a coach is only as good as the players he can put on the field. You know what I'm saying? You can scrape out a couple extra wins through your coaching acumen, but if you don't have talent, you're not going to win. That's as simple as that. I don't care how good of a coach you are. You know what I'm talking about? Also, at the same token, you can have a lot of talent, but if you have bad coaching, you're going to look terrible. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord does not bend. Definitely. Yeah, he said Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, Popovich, rigid. They don't change. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you look at austere and other, it's rigorously self-disciplined and uncompromising, which is what it is to be rigid. You don't. And he said in manner. See, a lot of people don't realize that the Lord is a very merciful, compassionate, and good man. But this man do not play. You know what I'm talking about? And a lot of people think that he just this soft type. It mainly be some dudes, but it's mainly more women. You know what I'm saying? Who think that the type of man he is probably not the man your daddy was. Because a lot of women, your daddy, you know how people say she's going to have you wrapped around your finger and all this, that, then the third. And that's how they think he is. And he's not. He is not. He's not showing respect to persons for nobody. Son or daughter. Ain't no, I'm your baby girl, you can blink at me, and I'm going to melt and give you what you want. That man don't give a damn. What did I tell you to do? Oh, you didn't do it? me and you got a problem. And most of us ain't raised by men who are like that. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why you don't have that attitude. I told you, man, when Joanne was born, dude told me, oh, yeah, I know she going to have you wrapped around your finger. I said, I was lying to me. I said, I don't know how a baby would have more power over me than me over the baby. No, that's your daughter. What that mean to me? One day she going to be somebody's wife. I'm supposed to let her run roughshod because that's my daughter? That's retarded. But guess what? A lot of people believe that. But you know why? Because they let their old lady do them like that. You know how many dudes do stuff they don't want to do simply because this woman want to do it? Go along with things he don't want to do because he don't want to fight with her. Well, you know, if that's what she says, I guess that's what it is. There's a lot of dudes out here. What's the word you're looking for? Neutered. That's what they do to the male dog. That boy been neutered. He done clipped his balls, man. You can say that, Emma. In all seriousness, you ain't the one of your little friends to play with back. He's definitely not. Definitely, Brother Harrison, man. He definitely not. Now, he is your friend if you do whatsoever he commands you to do. But you don't have that. No, that man not compromising nothing. That man ain't playing. He not playing. He meant what he said. He said what he meant. What he requires of you, that's exactly what he wants done. You don't want to hear no excuses why you didn't do it, why you couldn't do it, because he wouldn't give you a task that you couldn't complete. See, some people give people tasks that they know that they're not going to be able to do, or it's going to be difficult for them to do. Yahuwah is not going to give you a task that he know you can't complete and then chastise you for not completing it. You know what I'm saying? Do you notice that he didn't put a caveat on how much that they had to increase that penny? He put no caveat on that. He just said, occupy till I come. Do business till I come back. He didn't say you need to have 7 and you need to have, you know how you know how to do in the restaurant. They had the projection. They want you to make this and make that. And if you don't make that, they blame you for it. Like I got control about who pull up here. Nigga, we just show up here. I am not in control who comes to the drive-thru, who walks in the door, but they'll blame you for it. Even though you increased what they gave you, but you didn't increase it at the number I told you to increase it. Yahuwah don't do that. He just say increase it. Matter of fact, he just say increase it. I want to see what type of work you gonna put in. That's what he want to see. So if you came back and he came back as you seen, I gave you 1 and you got 10. He said, well, if you was faithful over that, baby, I know you're gonna hold it down over everything. That's how he look at it. He ain't like how man is. See, man is a taskmaster. Yeah, man is a taskmaster. Yahuwah don't do that. The same way how we went over that when he don't tell you how much you have to give. It's just 10. It's just a free will, or it's 10% of this. You know what I'm talking about? But he don't say you got to bring this. So he brings that same essence into this parable right here. If he gave you a word and you only got 3 souls and you watched over them 3 souls faithfully, you increased what I gave you. That's all he's looking for. It ain't, oh, now you got 3,000 or now you got 3,500. See, people think I'm supposed to get more. He didn't want to see if you're going to go out here and move that work. That's it. You going to multiply it or you going to hold it? A lot of people hold it. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people don't hold it. A lot of people ain't got it. Well, we talking about somebody saying he gonna hold it. You know what I'm talking about? But he gave it to you though. So that's why we look at it. What you was referring to specifically, Emma, so I make sure I don't miss what you asked me. Where was that with it? Verse 21, Luke 19. He said, for I fear because you are austere, man, that you take up that you laid not down and you reap that you did not sow. And he said unto him, out of your own mouth will I judge you, wicked servant. You knew that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gave not you my money into the bank, that at my coming I will require my own with interest. And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that have 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Lord, he that have 10 pounds. For I say unto you that every one which has shall be given, and for him that have not, even that he has shall be taken away from him. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay before me. You heard what he said, man? He said, take what, you know what happens? Since you don't want to move the word, guess what he'll do? He'll take the understanding from you. Since you want to keep it, and that goes back to what we were reading the other day. What Paul said, I have declared that I have not shunned to share unto you the counsel of God. I gave it to you. But come back to Proverbs 6. Yeah, that's crazy work to have a word and hold it, though. We used to talk about that all the time back in the day, but that's why it's amazing that nigga said that. We definitely used to talk about that. Like, how you gonna get the word and hold it?
Let me do the thing, yeah.
Huh?
Let me do the thing, y'all still trying.
I ain't got nothing to do with him. That's how you know a nigga ain't got nothing. I ain't even being funny. That's how you know somebody ain't got nothing. Because if you had a word, you would just go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You would just go do your thing. It wouldn't be contingent on what this person is doing. Because I remember it was a brother hit me up that you should really roll with him. You know what I'm saying? But he used to come through, at least not physically. You know what I'm talking about? But he hit me up one day, man. He said, man, I feel like the Lord is calling me to preach. I said, word? I said, I can't tell you what he's telling you. But if that's what you believe you're supposed to be doing, I'm not finna stop you. You know what I'm talking about? And guess what that man went and did? That very thing. And guess what he's doing right now? That very thing. You know what I'm saying? That same individual, guess what happened with him when he went around there with that father? God told him, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? And not behaving like this. He said, you got to go. But for the sake of, he believed he had a word, and he went and served it. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't say, well, I ain't want to mess this up or do this here. No. And he didn't even really have to call me to say that to me. You know what I'm saying? But he hit my line like, hey, bro, I feel like he calling me to do this here, man. I don't know. I don't think he thought I'd tell him. No, man. I was like, hey, bro, I can't tell you what this man telling you, bro.
Where you living
In Arizona.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, bro, if that's what you believe that's what he moving you to do, bro, you know, I got you. If you need me, man, go do your thing. That's exactly what he did. You know what I'm talking about? That's exactly what he did. So people be capped out, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because boy, if that man's sending you to do something, bro, he gonna make sure you put yourself in a position to do what it is he sent you to do. It ain't never going. How another person stopping you from doing what God ordained you to do? How that sound? You know what it sound like? Somebody lying. Say, let my hood word follow. That's right. Now you good, brother Herman, man. Shoot, go ahead, man. It's on your heart. Let it flow, man. I ain't mad at you. That's how I look at that, man. Nigga lying, bro. Nigga be knowing God don't want him to do nothing. Nigga just want some attention. There's a lot of these, man. You see all these niggas on Clubhouse, see all these brews on these internet spaces. All of them swear like God sending them to teach son. Man, that man ain't sent you to tell nobody nothing, boy. But come on, man. We're gonna read their Proverbs 6 one more time. Verse 8. He said he provide her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. How long will you sleep, O sluggard? Arise out of your sleep. We mentioned that the other day. Arise thou that sleep, and the Mashiach will give you life. How long you gonna stay dead in your trespasses and sins asleep? Go ahead and wake up, man, so he can give you the spirit, so he can tell you where to go and what to do. Go ahead and gather your meat in the summer, man. Get that bread of that man's body, man, so you can be gathered up in the winter. A lot of people don't want to be gathered. And that's why your poverty gonna come as you as one day you're gonna be, and your want as an armed man. What is an armed man? You know what an armed man is, Jeremiah James? You an armed man? You armed? You gonna stay safe and you gonna be safe and stay dangerous? I'm sorry, you ain't from Chicago. I'm sorry. What? When you look at armed man, it's Magan, man, a shield or a buckler. He said you're gonna come to your want like a man who got a shield, a defensive man. Want in this instance is maxor, and that's poverty, lack. You're gonna be impoverished, all because you ain't want to get your funky behind up. Come over here to the Ephesians that I mentioned, though. That's right. That's right, Amuna. That's right, Brother Herman. Say, prepare your works and see if it's fit for the land and go build your house. Yeah, we talked about that. We know you remember that. That makes sure it's fit for the land. That's the beauty of the word, man, because this man come around with stuff on every cut and corner. Oh, that was sweet. What's that, Galatians? There it is. Ephesians 5. 5 and 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, because of these things come the wrath of Elohim upon the sons of disobedience. Be ye not therefore partakers with them, for you were sometimes darkness, but now light in the Lord. Walk as sons of light. For the fruit of the Ruach in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done in secret, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever do make manifest is light. Wherefore he say, awake you that sleep, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give you life. That's what we're going to sit back looking at when we're going to keep looking at some of this stuff with poverty and being asleep. Because a lot of people, as I said in Ephesians 2, you dead in trespasses and sins. You want to stay asleep. And while you stay asleep, you're gonna come to want. And what is that want? You won't have gold to him tried in the fire. You won't have no treasures in heaven, and you won't have no durable riches. We'll stop right there though. So we 2.5 feet. So hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. I appreciate y'all time. We bless out the house Elohim in the name of Yahushua. You know what that is, man. Remember Friday is 8:30. Also remember that atonement is Saturday night. And then we'll get that sorted out on the daytime portion. Thankfully, the Jaguars ain't playing on Sunday, so we won't have no downtown traffic or anything of the sort to have to deal with. So thank the Lord for that. Thank the Lord. I definitely looked at that. I said, dang, that's on Sunday. That's game. Not necessarily. Wait a second. Muffin, when the funds due for Tabernacle? Shalom, Brother Harrison, man. Shalom, Herman, man. This was over. No. How do you know?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When the funds due for Tabernacle? That's the Sunday before? Sunday. Thank you. So yeah. So that's all I got. That's all I got for you. No, atonement starts October the 2nd at even 8:30. Of course, we'll have service every day until its conclusion. Every night at 7:30. Save Sabbath. That Saturday afternoon. Probably start at 2:00, maybe 1:30, but I'll let you know next week, Lord willing. Just because that's a daily double. Just like it's gonna be y'all willing next Saturday, a daily double. Afternoon and then service for atonement that night. So be advised. Hey, my familiar. So again, I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all the house, all in the name of y'all. I love y'all. Yahuwah willing. Till the next time.